floor is ours to battle on. The sweat is ours to shed. The pride is ours to carry. All heart, all grit. This is NEC Hoops. Built to battle.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The madness has finally arrived. Welcome live inside the home office. I'm Craig D'Amico, and this is the NEC Hoops Full Court Press for the 2026 NEC Women's Basketball Quarterfinals. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. The road for the 2026 NEC Women's Basketball Championship meets the madness of March as the quarterfinal round commences. We have 4 quarterfinal matchups, one of them set to tip momentarily coming up here at the 6 p.m. hour. And then the other 3 quarterfinals will get underway coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern. We are going to take you through all 4 of them, NFL RedZone-style. We will get you to wherever the action is, non-stop, 3 hours of relatively commercial-free NEC playoff hoops happening right here. Now, a reminder, you can watch any game individually or using our control room. You can watch all 4 games at once over at necfrontrow.com. Let's take a look at the bracket. Coming up tonight, you will see the top-seeded FDU Knights, the reigning and defending champions, taking on the most established and accomplished NEC tournament team of all time, the 12-time conference champion, the St. Francis Red Flash. FDU swept both meetings this year, 45 points back in January and just 22 points in the regular season finale. You will see the 4th-seeded Wagner College Seahawks taking on the 5th-seeded Lemoyne Dolphins. Wagner hosting their first playoff game since 2021 at the Spiro Sports Center against a Lemoyne team that's won 6 out of their last 8 games and have won a playoff game each of their first 2 years in the league. These 2 teams split their 2 meetings this year, each one winning on their home court. You will see the 3-seeded LIU Sharks taking on the 6-seeded Chicago State Cougars. The Cougars pulled off an upset as a 6 seed over a 3 seed last year, and they look to do it again against an LIU team that is 13 wins better than a season ago, and they have the player of the year on their roster in Khadijah Toure. But the game that we have coming up first, it'll be the number 2 Mercyhurst Lakers taking on the 7-seeded Stonehill Skyhawks. The first ever NEC tournament game for the Lakers, winners of 13 of their last 15, taking on a Stonehill team that were the runners-up in the league a year ago. Mercyhurst swept both meetings in the regular season. Remember, winners advance and are reseeded in the semifinals. The losers have their seasons come to an abrupt end here tonight. High drama playing out for you right here on the Full Court Press. So let's get you out to our first stop of live NEC Hoops playoff action. And because it's the only game going on right now, you are going to see the entire first half uninterrupted. It's Mercyhurst and Stonehill live from the Mercyhurst Athletic Center in Erie, Pennsylvania. So here we go, our first stop of the night, and just underway Mercyhurst Stonehill, and we got our first basket with an and one. Ella Pelletier, an all-rookie team performer this year for Stonehill, got the ball in the low post, spun, turn, put it up and in as she was getting fouled by Erica Hall. So now a chance for a 3-point play. The number 7 seeded Stonehill Skyhawks draw first blood. They're up 3-0. Our first stop. It's the only game in town right now. You'll see the entire first half exclusively here on the Full Court Press. And then, of course, all 3 other quarterfinals will get underway coming up at the top of the next hour. And Sophia Wilson, the freshman point guard, the rookie of the year this year in the Northeast Conference, turns it over on the travel. A very intriguing matchup here. You have the Stonehill Skyhawks 12-17, 8-10 in conference play, the number 7 seed taking on Mercyhurst, 14-15, 14-4 in conference play. The Lakers in their first year under head coach Aaron Mills-Reed started the year at 0-12. They played their very first game of the season, they lost to Michigan State 125-39. I mean, talk about welcome to, college basketball head coaching for Aaron Mills-Reed. Lose your first game by like 80 points. But despite the 0-12 start, despite the injuries, shuffling lineups, trying to find some consistency, a treacherous non-conference schedule, this team persevered. They pulled through it, and then once they hit their stride after a 1-2 start in conference play, winning 14 out of their last 16 conference games, finishing 14-4 in a tie for second place in the standings, but via the tiebreakers, Mercyhurst get the number 2 seed, a home game tonight in their very first ever NEC tournament game, their first tournament appearance, and then if they win, they ensure themselves a home game in the semifinals. But Stonehill, they are quite an experienced group despite having to reshuffle their roster a bit from last year. Obviously, 25-year head coach Trisha Brown is at the helm, and this was a program that was just in the championship game, in the WNIT for that matter, a season ago, and they are out to an incredible start here today. If Stonehill is hitting threes, that could be a problem for the Mercyhurst Lakers, who hit more threes per game than any other team in the league. And there's Lena Walls answering right back. The Mercyhurst Lakers have 4 players in double figures scoring. Walls is one of them, the sophomore from 3 miles away. Cathedral Prep High School down the road there in Erie. Went to St. Bonaventure last year, but now she's back home in a Lakers uniform, and if sharpshooter like her is your 4th scoring option, I mean, that's kind of what makes Mercyhurst so dangerous. They average 65 points per game. You see them in transition, and they're getting offensive rebounds, but they couldn't make it cash in there. Neither one of these two teams has depth in the size department. Both teams actually quite undersized when it comes to competition. Stonehill with a little bit more of a size advantage than Mercyhurst, so the battle of the rebounds is going to be something to watch in this game. We mentioned that Mercyhurst won both games during the regular season. And we'll get free throws coming up here. Mercyhurst, a very strong free throw team. They make their free throws at 76%.
That resulted in the foul and sends Jenna Van Schaik to the line. Up-tempo game, certainly, and we expected a little more defense, but the offense coming alive to start.
Yeah, I wasn't, don't want to say I wasn't expecting that, but I wasn't expecting
Mercyhurst won the first meeting, 63-58 back on January the 17th, and then 68-55, a 13-point margin of victory just about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago on the 28th of February, the penultimate game of the regular season. In both games, the commonality, there were 2 of them. Stonehill struggling to keep up with Mercyhurst's three-point shooting, and the second was the turnovers. Mercyhurst capitalized big time on them. 22 points off 18 Stonehill turnovers in the first meeting, 17 points off 23 Stonehill turnovers in the second meeting. So rebounding, three-point shooting, and turnovers going to be the 3 stats that we take a look at here as this game develops, and that should tell us the story of the scoreboard more than likely. It did in the 2 games during the regular season. Ella Pelletier, this is one of those cases where for Coach Brown, she was telling her freshmen, you're not a freshman anymore. The coach speak, freshmen at this time of year aren't freshmen anymore. She was telling Ella Pelletier that back in early February when we did Stonehill's game against LIU. Ella Pelletier has come to play. She has 6 points. Webster has 4 after that bucket, and it's a 4-point Stonehill lead.
Good crowd on hand, good energy in the
Stonehill is 4 for their first 6 from the floor. They made a 3-point basket. Wilson trying to drive to the basket. And actually, she had the last touch. Interesting. Sophia Wilson, the Rookie of the Year, 5-time Rookie of the Week during the course of the season.
She has as many as the Lakers, and the ball will go the other way in favor of
We'll go the other way. Okay, so turnover for turnover.
Don't want to give up possessions, and it's a wasted opportunity right there.
And this is where the turnovers started to pile up in each of the first 2 meetings. Mercyhurst applies, they make up for their lack of size with pressure defense. They utilize a full court press, and they wear opponents down over the course of the ball game. They might not get their opportunities all at once, but sooner or later, they're going to get their advantage. They're going to get possessions, force turnovers. They forced a big turnover here midway through the first quarter. Walls with a three-point miss, but there looked to be a foul
Open look.
going for the
It's
rebound.
everything you want as a shooter, and sometimes the rim just doesn't play to your favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't leave. You can't leave Lena Walls that wide open. Luckily for Stonehill, that one didn't go down. She had plenty of space. Lena Walls, the number one three-point shooter in the league right now at 39%.
Inbound will come from Ella Pelletier. Rizzy Smith will take
There's
it
the
back
pressure
to
for
Pelletier. 5:40 remaining.
Mercyhurst making Stonehill work to get the ball into the half court.
Defense from CC Hernandez, throwing one up by Pelletier.
But Stonehill, well practiced, well prepared for it. They're able with a couple passes to not only get it up into the half court, calm, cool, and collected, but they were able to get a wide open look for Pelletier from right down the middle. Another steal. Delaney looked perhaps to be fouled.
And there's the defense that we talked about. It's the
Brianna Delaney, the junior from Marlboro, New Jersey. Currently in the point guard role for Stonehill. They moved Brooke Paquette to the two guard after Paquette a couple of years as one of the top point guards in the NEC. Now they need Paquette to be one of the primary scoring options, and indeed, she's kind of turned it up. Last year from February on through Stonehill's run to the WNIT, she averaged about 18 points per game. So far from February 1st on this year, she's averaging 15 points per game. She's coming off a career high with 29 in the regular season finale. She's yet to score here today. It's been Ella Pelletier with 9 leading the way. Stonehill, the number 7 seed with a 13-6 lead as we step aside for a moment.
With football, with sports, you gotta kind of always be delusionally confident with.
This is awesome, bro. This is what the Devils thrive in.
Lily, say hi to the camera.
The LIU Sharks are champions.
Central Connecticut, they win the NEC. There is Paquette, and she somehow beat the shot clock with a scoop. Oh, what a move by Malachi Davis. And the Seahawks' first ever NEC Women's Indoor Crown.
And the goal for the NEC regular season title, it's Lemoyne.
LIU has done it. Back-to-back championships.
The Cougars have won the NEC championship.
With FDU Knights. Absolutely perfect.
Good help defense on that.
Exactly 5 minutes to go, first quarter, our first quarterfinal playoff matchup of the night. It's the only game in town right now. All 3 other quarterfinals tip-off coming up at the top of the next hour. So we're bringing you exclusive coverage of the entire first half here on the Full Court Press, uninterrupted. And right now, Stonehill, the number 7 seed on the road with a 13-6 lead. They've come out shooting 63%, 2 for 2 from behind the arc. This is a Stonehill team that only shoots 29% on the season from three-point range. Ella Pelletier is already at another kind of level here. She's now up to 9 points in this game at our first media timeout.
And will go a little bit wide.
Mercyhurst with that miss. Now 1 for 5 from behind the arc.
On the white line, and a good effort goes for naught.
As Mercyhurst turns it over.
Another open look at the 3, but that rim has just not benefited the Lakers so far in this one. Up the court quickly come the Skyhawks. Open look for Pelletier. She gets
top of the key. Ella Pelletier is on fire. 12 points, 3 threes, and a 10-point Stonehill lead. Ella Pelletier, the freshman from Maine. Coach Brown telling us she loves her players from Maine. Pelletier uses her size well. Dad was a coach in high school, said that Pelletier's super versatile, exceeding all expectations. And that was on the season. I'm sure definitely exceeding expectations here tonight in her playoff debut. Jenna Van Schaik answered with a bucket on the other end, and now Mercyhurst gets a turnover, trying to capitalize into points, and Sophia Wilson is going to get to the free throw line.
Lakers trying to break into the double-digit category. Once again, the defense, look at that. That's just an arm up in the air.
Heads up
driving it down
defense.
the way. Sophia Wilson, knowing what she had to do there.
Way to go into the defense, too. You got to make the refs call the foul sometimes.
You don't get the easy basket, but now you get the two.
Sophia Wilson, a 72% free throw shooter, the Rookie of the Year this year in the NEC. 10 times double figure scoring, 4 times with over 20 points.
Making sure what the call was here.
Primary facilitator in high school. She's added scoring to her game here
99 on the season.
with Erin Mills-Reed and the Mercyhurst Lakers, averaging over 11 points. She makes the first free throw.
16-9, Skyhawks lead. Substitutions come in as Rizzy Smith.
Mercyhurst with their first home playoff game since the 2024 PSAC tournament against Edinburgh. They're looking for their first playoff win since the 2018 season. Obviously their first postseason appearance in the NEC after being ineligible a year ago during a 6-10 season in which they finished tied for 5th in the standings. They would have made the NEC tournament if they were able to last year. So here's an example of Pelletier trying to use her size, almost playing like a post, backing her way in, but she's called for the turnover, the offensive foul.
Again, you play tight defense. Good things are going to happen. A little too aggressive there was Ella Pelletier. We'll give her the excuse. She's done just about everything else right in this game so far.
Pelletier with 12 points, 3 threes, a rebound, and an assist.
12 points on the evening, 3 threes to her credit.
As again, Mercyhurst tries to take advantage of the turnovers. So far, 5 turnovers for Stonehill in the first not even 7 minutes. 3 ball from the right side, no good. Battle for the rebound. Again, rebounding going to be such a big factor in this game for two teams that are just about equal in size department. Stonehill maybe a little bit of an advantage.
Paquette gives it back. Julia Webster right.
Little give and go. Julia Webster. Nice find by Brooke Paquette. We said they moved Paquette off from the point guard. She could still pass, though. Brooke Paquette averaging close to 3 assists per game.
Looks over to first-year head coach Erin Mills-Reed, who's led her team to their first postseason appearance at the Division I level. Sophia Wilson.
Sophia Wilson overshot everything there on the feed from Jenna Van Schaik. Jenna Van Schaik, it's been fun watching her this last month. She's your proverbial senior who knows that it's coming to an end, but doesn't want it to end, and she's doing everything in her power to will her team on her back. Jenna Van Schaik averaging over 20 points per game over the final 5 games of the regular season.
Stover tosses one up. Hits off of the
3-ball try for Lauren Stover, the senior. That's off the mark.
2 minutes left to go in the
Stover
first.
came in as a substitution off the bench during the last stoppage.
Julia Webster.
Shannon Heine in the game as well.
Long range 2, just a little off.
For Coach Brown, she's kept the same 5 on the floor for the first 8 minutes of this game. No substitutions on the Stonehill side. And why should they? These 5 are shooting 58%, and they have doubled up Mercyhurst.
Offensive rebound for Van Schaik.
Van Schaik with the second chance opportunity, powering her way to the basket, and that's the kind of heart, desire Jenna Van Schaik has shown these last couple weeks. Doesn't want it to come to an end, and a pickpocketed right at the center circle, an uncontested layup is missed. Oh, you can't have that happen here at playoff time, but they get another opportunity. Can't get the 3-ball. Stonehill gets the rebound from underneath. For Stonehill, you got to keep your head on a swivel, your eyes up. You can't let your opponent come in there and pickpocket at you. And on the other side, if you're Mercyhurst, you got to make those bunnies. All these little things add up to be big things come playoff time. It's all on the line here tonight. Winner go home in the NEC tournament. Only winners advance.
Jenna Van Schaik. Back to Sophia Wilson. Wilson dancing at the 3-point line.
Wilson on the drive, and it looks like she'll get her way to the free throw line. Mercyhurst, 1 out of 10. 3-point shooting. The threes not falling here in Erie, Pennsylvania in this first quarter. Meanwhile, Stonehill is 3 for 4.
She's getting to the hoop. It's good to see. It's just you just want those to fall, so that's hard.
I know she's going to want that shot that she had on the open look back, and you can get at least the points back here, back at the free throw line. Opportunity to turn this one back down to a 5-point game. Not able to hit the
Short on that first free throw. Wilson, a 72% free throw shooter, struggling from the charity stripe here in her first couple of opportunities, and she missed it again. 1 for her first 4.
Skyhawks can hold on for the last
And
shot
Stonehill has a 7-point lead. They could hold for the final shot here.
Brooke Paquette.
Paquette has already made a buzzer beater at the end of a quarter here recently, right at the end of the regular season. She has the ball in her hand in between the circles, now starting to move. Clock at 5, baseline jumper, and Brooke Paquette gets it to fall. Paquette up to 4 points, and Stonehill's lead up to 9. The Skyhawks shooting 57%. 20 points on the scoreboard, a 9-point advantage as Stonehill looks to get playoff wins in the tournament for a second straight season. They were in the championship game last year, looking for a surprise as a 7 seed on the road against the number 2. We'll take a quick timeout and bring it back for the start of the second quarter. You're watching the NEC Tournament Quarterfinals here on the NEC Full Court Press.
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story.
This is awesome, bro. This is what the Devils thrive in.
Lily, say hi to the camera.
The LIU Sharks are champions.
Central Connecticut, they win the NEC. There is Paquette, and she somehow beat the shot clock with a scoop.
Oh, what a move by Malachi Davis!
The Seahawks' first ever NEC Women's Indoor Crown.
And the goal for the NEC regular season title. It's Lemoyne.
LIU has done it. Back-to-back championships.
The Cougars have won the NEC championship.
With FDU Knights. Absolutely perfect.
Getting set for the start of the second quarter at the Mercyhurst Athletic Center in Erie, Pennsylvania. It is the first of 4 NEC Tournament quarterfinals going on here tonight. Glad you could be along with us for another NEC Full Court Press whip around action, NFL RedZone-style for all 4 quarterfinal playoff matchups. Again, only one game going on right now here at the 6 o'clock hour. It is this 2-7 matchup, and right now the 7-seeded Stonehill Skyhawks coming out very strong, and there's an example of them using that slim size advantage that we talked about. Amaya Dowdy, the former LIU Shark, one of the better shot blockers in the NEC, just reaching up in the post, pulling it down, getting it right to the basket, and right there we see Mercyhurst answering right back. Cece Hernandez, her first points of the night. Hernandez, the most improved player in the NEC this year. Her scoring average improved 8 points per game from a season ago. She's one of the top scorers in the league. In fact, this game has 2 of the top 3 scorers in the league. You have Brooke Paquette, the second leading scorer at 15 points per game. Cece Hernandez, number 3 at 14.2. Cece Hernandez, almost 17 points per game when you just factor in conference games. For Mercyhurst, it's been a struggle from the field so far. 4 for 16, 25%. In that first quarter, while their opponent, Stonehill, shot 57%. Van Schaik wide open. She can't connect. No whistle. Contact down below, but Brooke Paquette comes out of it with the ball.
Moving in at the free throw line, lost ball, and turns into a possession.
Turnover. Mercyhurst 1 for their first 4 shooting here in the second quarter. That's the 7th turnover for Stonehill.
Top of your screen, it's Lauren Stover.
Mercyhurst only able to take advantage with 3 points off turnovers. And there's a bucket. The lefty layup by Erica Hall.
Julia Webster.
Hall at 5'11", supplying the size. That's the size for Mercyhurst right now, but Hall can step out and hit mid-range shots. She can shoot the three.
For Brianna Delaney, 13 on the shot clock.
Trying to go down low to Dowdy.
Lakers think they have it, lose it. Shot.
And a foul on Julia Webster. And Webster going to go to the free throw line. That's the first foul on CC Hernandez.
Under the basket. It's a physical game, and it certainly has been tonight.
Yeah, and if that help's not there, then that's tough for Mercier to get back into it.
Webster, the sophomore from Cumberland, Rhode Island, averaging close to 11.6 rebounds per game. One of the unsung heroes of this Stonehill team that stepped up with some of the injuries that they've had to endure this season. Webster's confidence was building as the season went along.
Webster's second, up and in. 25-15.
Webster now up to 5 points, and it's a 10-point lead for Stonehill. Their largest lead was 11.
Moves this one back as it'll find its way to Lena Walls. Now Hernandez with it. Hernandez puts some pressure on, a little too physical.
And we're going to get a foul. It'll be CC Hernandez, and for Hernandez, that's her second foul. So Hernandez with some foul trouble, struggling to get going. Here in the early going, Hernandez only with 2 points, but she stays in the game with the 2 fouls.
You can't be doing that as this one goes up.
Oh, that was blocked.
Back down by Erica Hall. 7:20 left. Here's Hernandez.
That Jenna Van Schaik? I think that was Jenna Van Schaik, JVS. And now JVS. See, JVS trying to do it all. Blocking the shot on one end, coming down and kind of forcing the shot, but hitting the jumper on the other end. Jenna Van Schaik up to 7 points here in this game.
Defensive possessions turned offensive. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter.
Winner of this game will advance to the semifinal round. For Stonehill, it would be for the second straight year. For Mercyhurst, it would be the first time ever. It's to the weak side, and Brooke Paquette with a lay-in.
Van Schaik slowing up the court.
Stonehill, a team that was picked number 2 in the preseason poll way back in October. Tonight looking to upset the number 2 team.
Gets around, but gets blocked by.
And now Stonehill answers with a block.
And here come the Skyhawks the other way. Top of your screen, it'll find its way. Delaney walking the perimeter, directing traffic.
Stonehill looking for their largest lead of the game if they could get a bucket here on this trip down the floor. 4 minutes into the second.
Brianna Delaney back to Dowdy. 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Backing up to the center circle.
Lakers keeping everything outside.
Rissy Smith partially blocked. Still one on the shot clock. Dowdy forcing up a shot. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. A block on the three-point shot. I believe Lauren Stover got a piece of that.
That's a great 30 seconds of defense right there. That's the kind of stuff you need to get some momentum on offense too.
And it was Lauren
Now the Mercyhurst Lakers, not a team that puts up a ton of spectacular defensive numbers, and Erin Millsreed knows her team's shortcomings, and she also knows how to kind of work and try to plan around that. Hence the reason for some of that pressure defense up the floor that they like to utilize. But they're getting blocks, they can force turnovers. They'll be in really good shape.
Against Paquette, fadeaway jumper gets it to fall. 27-19.
Jenna Van Schaik now up to 9.
That's your bread and butter if you're Van Schaik. You play hard, you get the shot you want, and it finds its way in.
We mentioned she's averaging 20 over her last 5, shooting 48% on the process, leading Pelletier to the basket, high off the glass and in. The super versatile Ella Pelletier, who's a guard but can play the 3, can play the 4. Has seen her minutes increased as she's gotten used to the stamina of collegiate basketball as the season has gone along.
Moving down below the goal line, hits off of the backboard and bounces on the other side of the.
Now Mercyhurst has been shooting at a much higher percentage here in this second quarter. They're at 50% right now, up from the 25% in quarter number 1, but the deficit still double figures. Feeding the post, Pelletier, too strong.
That one doesn't fall for her, and it'll be Laker ball the other way. Van Schaik spin move.
A little penetrating kick, getting it out to Sophia Wilson, who hits the triple. Wilson, a 33% three-point shooter, and for Mercyhurst, only their second three of the game.
Wide open look for Pelletier. She'll pass this one off. Gets it
Pelletier
back
from the free throw line, not that time. And we have a whistle going for the rebound.
But it will be Skyhawk ball on first blush. 4:02 left to go in the second. And we will head to the media.
Yeah, that looked like 24. That's Quinn Baroni committing the foul. So Stonehill ball, 4:02 to play in the first half. Skyhawks leading by 7, the number 7 seed, making things interesting here on the Full Court Press. We're back right after this.
I think community and style, it all goes together.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Paul Dottino with the NEC Notebook delivered to you by WB Mason. First place FDU became the second team in NEC history to go undefeated in conference play over back-to-back seasons. Coach Stephanie Gately relied on Ava Renninger, the regular season assist champ, who also tied for second in free throw percentage. The Knights' Kaylee McDonald made the most three-pointers, and Rebecca Osei-Owusu had the highest field goal percentage. LIU's Khadijah Toure captured 3 statistical titles, averaging 19 points, 10 rebounds, and nearly 1.4 blocks per game. Stonehill's Brooke Paquette topped the field in free throw shooting, and New Haven's Anaya McDonald-Perry led the steals chart. The NEC Final and automatic NCAA bid will air Sunday, March 15th on ESPNU at the highest remaining seed. Tip-off is at noon. And remember to catch all of your conference action on NECFrontRow.com and follow the tournament on X at NEC Sports or the web at NECSports.com.
When you do find yourself in a game,
Both teams in the huddle here at the media timeout. 4:02 to play here in the first half. Again, this is the only game going on here in the 6 o'clock hour. We will have at the 7 o'clock hour. That's where things are going to get really wild here at the Full Court Press. We have 3 games starting, and then this game will be way into the second half, reaching its epic conclusion, the climax, as we get into the 7 o'clock hour. So this game is going to be going down to the end. 3 other games starting. It's going to get wild. Glad you could be along with us here on all of our NEC social media platforms tonight, watching along. Whip around coverage for the tournament quarterfinals. Stonehill leading Mercyhurst 29-22, but Stonehill turns it over after that foul. They had an opportunity inbounding from underneath the basket, but now the Lakers can try to creep closer.
Hernandez with it. Throws it in or right into the hands.
And Mercyhurst turns it right back over. Stonehill hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes.
Brooke Paquette puts her head down.
Paquette on the dribble drive, trying to draw the foul, overshoots the basket, no whistle. And now here come Mercyhurst. Again, we have Cece Hernandez, the most improved player, the leading scorer for Mercyhurst, playing with 2 fouls for the last couple minutes. She stayed on the court. Coach Aaron Mills Reed with trust in her sophomore.
Hall, back Hernandez, Van Schaik drives underneath.
Schaik walking that tightrope.
That one goes off of the hands and out of bounds of Ella Pelletier.
Yeah, nifty move. Van Schaik, the crafty veteran, knowing that she was running out of real estate there, walking that tightrope. So had to deflect it off of Pelletier just to save the possession. Oh, open look, catch and shoot. And Sophia Wilson knew it. As soon as that ball left her hand, she was already backpedaling to get on defense. Sophia Wilson, her second 3, I believe. Yep, her second 3 of the game. Third 3 of the game for the Lakers. They've taken a double-digit lead and now have gotten it to just 4. Pelletier has gotten that ball in the low post a couple times now, and the last couple of opportunities she hasn't been able to make those buckets. Another 3. Not that time for Wilson. But the rebound comes out way behind the perimeter, so Mercyhurst does get a new 20 on the shot clock.
In the second, 29-25, Skyhawks ahead. Van Schaik back, Hernandez, bottom of your screen.
Wilson
against
oh, good spin move. Oh, puts it up at the shot clock buzzer. Wilson with the personal 5-0 run. It's an 8-0 run overall for Mercyhurst. And the lead for Stonehill is just down to 2.
right below the basket. Not able to
Again,
get the
Paquette
two.
overshooting the basket, and we have a foul as Hall got the rebound. For Hall, that was their 5th rebound of the game.
What a change in momentum for the Mercyhurst
And a similar
Lakers.
possession to just a little while ago. We've seen now a couple times down the floor, feeding the post to Pelletier. Stonehill, she overshoots the basket and misses the layup from about 2 feet away. And then we've seen now a couple times Brooke Paquette overshoot that baseline floater layup kind of attempt.
Tied up on this possession.
Van Schaik trying to take on 2 defenders. Wide open look. Hall can shoot it from that range. No good. It was deflected out of bounds. Looked to be on Baroni.
Julia Webster will inbound.
So Stonehill inbounding. Mercyhurst still applying that pressure here in the final minute and a half.
Rizzy Smith.
Coming up here at halftime, again, there'll be no games at live action for the next few moments once we get to halftime. So we will show you some other women's basketball content. We got the award winners. We got our interview from our podcast last week with Kaylee McDonald of the FDU Knights. All that will be coming up at the half. And then by the time we come back, we'll have the second half of this game and 3 other games joining the group chat for the top of the hour at 7 o'clock. As Stonehill ends that run for Mercyhurst. It was an 8-0 run. Dowdy now up to 6 points with that bucket. Pelletier leading the way for Stonehill with 14 points. Wilson and Van Schaik have 9 to lead the way for the Lakers.
Van Schaik gives it back to Hernandez. 9 on the shot clock. Sophia Wilson. Wilson open.
Wilson blocked. Swatted away by Dowdy. Dowdy now has 2, and Stonehill could have the last shot if they choose. They got a bucket by Brooke Paquette right at the buzzer, right in front of the buzzer at the end of the first quarter.
Paquette with 10 on the clock.
It's in Paquette's hands. Nearly lost it. There's contact, and that's going to be a foul on Van Schaik.
We'll have to take another look.
Yeah, they're going to call her for a foul.
Van Schaik.
2 of the best players in the league going one-on-one right there. How fun is that?
I don't know. It looked like Van Schaik from my perspective in that angle.
Mercier still has fouls to give. 5 seconds. Open look. Top of the key. Back iron. And Stonehill will not get a second chance. They will take a 4-point lead. Their shooting numbers came down a little bit in the second quarter. They went from 57% to 33%. Meanwhile, Mercyhurst went from 25 to 47. So we meet almost in the middle. 31-27, a 4-point advantage for Stonehill on the road in this NEC tournament quarterfinal matchup. Only winners advance. For the losers, their season ends here tonight. So we're going to take a timeout from live action. No games going on live right now. We will have our award winners. We will have our conversation with Kaylee McDonald. We'll come back for the second half of this game, and then we'll be just in time to take you out to 3 other quarterfinals going on the banks of the Hackensack, FDU in St. Francis, LIU taking on Chicago State from Brooklyn, and then up in Staten Island, it'll be Wagner and Lemoyne. Those games coming up at the top of the hour. Keep it right here. You are watching live whip-around coverage of the 2026 NEC Women's Basketball Quarterfinals. This is the NEC Full Court Press.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Paul Dottino with the NEC Notebook delivered to you by WB Mason. First place FDU became the second team in NEC history to go undefeated in conference play over back-to-back seasons. Coach Stephanie Gately relied on Ava Renninger, the regular season assist champ, who also tied for second in free throw percentage. The Knights' Kaylee McDonald made the most three-pointers, and Rebecca Osei-Owusu had the highest field goal percentage. LIU's Khadija Toure captured 3 statistical, averaging 19 points, 10 rebounds, and nearly 1.4 blocks per game. Stonehill's Brooke Paquette topped the field in free throw shooting, and New Haven's Anaya McDonald-Perry led the steals chart. The NEC Final and automatic NCAA bid will air Sunday, March 15th on ESPNU at the highest remaining seed. Tip-off is at noon. And remember to catch all of your conference action on NECFrontRow.com and follow the tournament on X at NEC Sports or the web at NECSports.com.
It's time to roll out the red carpet for the NEC's 2025-2026 Women's Basketball Major Award winners. The NEC Rookie of the Year is Mercyhurst freshman guard Sophia Wilson. Wilson was a 5-time NEC Rookie of the Week this year, averaging 11.2 points and finishing second in the league in assists at 3.4 per game. The NEC's most improved player is Wilson's teammate, Mercyhurst sophomore guard CeCe Hernandez. Hernandez raised her scoring average 8 points from 6.2 a year ago to 14.2 this year, third best in the league. She was even better come conference time, averaging 17.3 against league foes, second best in the circuit. The Brenda Riley Coach of the Year for a second straight season belongs to FDU's Stephanie Gately. FDU had a perfect championship season in 2025, but lost 4 starters from that team and had to reload in 2026. Pretty good reloading. All they did was have an even better season this year. FDU is defeating conference competition by an average of 22 points. They became just the second school to have back-to-back perfect NEC regular seasons, setting the NEC consecutive regular season wins record in the process. It's like a master chef who runs out of ingredients, has to completely reshuffle the menu, and still earns a Michelin star. The staple of Coach Gately and FDU is and will always be their defense. So it is no surprise to learn that a team that is top 3 in the nation in scoring defense has the Defensive Player of the Year on their roster. Grad student Madlana Gerke is the NEC's Defensive Player of the Year, the third in FDU history after Erica Livermore and Tunisia Brown from a year ago. Gerke had 44 steals and has mastered some of the little details that have made her a major factor in FDU's defensive success. The 2026 Newcomer of the Year is LIU senior forward Khadijah Toure. Toure follows in the footsteps of the award's inaugural winner, Kylie Swider, from a year ago, as the league's top player in their first year with their program. Toure came in and has helped the Sharks improve by 13 wins at the end of the regular season. Toure leads the league in both scoring and rebounding, which also makes her the 2026 NEC Women's Basketball Player of the Year. Toure finished the regular season averaging 18.8 points, 10 rebounds, 2.7 assists. She had 13 double-doubles, a dominant campaign. She is the third player all-time to lead the league in points and rebounds in the same season and the first since 2020. Toure is the third LIU Player of the Year, joining pretty elite company Tamika Dudley in 2002 and Val Nainima in 2007. Congratulations to all of the 2025-2026 NEC Elite Women's Basketball Major Award winners. Up next here on NEC Women's Basketball on the Run, it is time for our Commitment to Success Spotlight, and it's brought to you by Provident Bank. Commitment you could count on. Joining us today from the reigning and defending NEC champion, the regular season champion for the 4th time in the last 5 years, the record holders for the most consecutive league wins in history, and the #1 seed in the upcoming NEC tournament, the FDU Knights. It's their sophomore guard, Kaylee McDonald. Kaylee, welcome to the Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
You know, that's a lot of accomplishment. It seems like every time you guys take the court, there's something new that you're accomplishing. What has been the most special thing for you of this whole run the last 2 years that you've been a part of it?
Honestly, I think it's the relationships made with my teammates and with the coaches. You go through all like the wins and the losses together, and it's like coming into college, you don't really know what's going to happen, how the team's going to be, but it's just been really special being on this team and experiencing this with all the people around me.
Now, it's no surprise. Key to success, defense. Defense is number one. How much pride does the team have in being up there at the national rankings and all the growth that the team has had on the court from November to now?
I think obviously Coach Gately instilled in us that defense is going to win our games. So from the very beginning, she has her standards, and we just all bought into the same thing, and we bring it every game. And we know that if the shots aren't going to fall, our defense is what we're going to have to fall back on, and that's basically just what we do.
which is pretty good to fall back on that defense the way you guys play. Last year I talked with Coach Gately, and she described you kind of as the Energizer Bunny, someone coming off the bench, giving that immediate shot of energy, pesky defense, hitting a three here and there, making the hustle plays. This year, though, your role has kind of changed in year two. How would you kind of describe the role and how that's grown and how that's changed, and how did you kind of prepare for that coming into the year?
Yeah, last year, I knew my role was just going to be like that burst of energy coming off the bench. This year, over the summer, I definitely had to work on like driving to the basket more. Obviously, I love playing defense, so that didn't change from last year, but I knew I would have to be playing a lot more. So it's just like stepping into more of a leader role, being on the court more, talking more, just being there for my teammates. Obviously, the shooting, I have more time on the court, so that just fell into place there. But yeah.
Well, the extra time on the court has led to 88 made threes and counting. Season's not over yet. Long way to go. Already, though, the single season FDU record, and in the NEC history, there have only been 9 individual seasons of players that got to 100 threes or more, and you're right around that corner. Only 6 players that have done that. So how special would it be to just, keep this going, get to 100 and even further than that with the three-point shooting?
Yeah, that would be really special. Honestly, I didn't know that I was going to hit that record. So knowing that now, it's definitely going to be a great accomplishment.
Now, I asked this to one of your former teammates, Abby C., a couple of years ago, because she was an expert three-point shooter in her own right. What is the key to being a consistent three-point shooter in your mind?
It's definitely having a short-term mindset. Like if I miss one shot, I can't think about it too much. I just have to move on and just think that the next shot is going in. So that's basically it.
The goldfish, right?
Right. The goldfish mindset, yeah.
Now, let's kind of go back into your journey a little bit. How was it? When was it that you kind of fell in love with basketball and you knew that this was the game, this was the sport for you?
Yeah, so I grew up doing gymnastics. I did that for like 10 years, and I realized I didn't have much time for anything else, and I grew up playing basketball in the driveway with like all the boys in my neighborhood and stuff. And then one day I signed up for my school summer league, and ever since then, in 6th grade, I just played basketball, and I fell in love with it from there. I played every single day after school. I would get extra shots up after practice, and it's just been a grind ever since.
And how did you know that FDU was the right fit to come and join this team and this program?
Yeah. As soon as I spoke to Coach Gately and Coach Jess, I knew that this was a great fit for me. I love Coach Gately's coaching style. She's very tough on us, but she loves us, and you can tell, and everything that she does for us. So the coaching staff was the biggest part in my recruitment process, I would say.
Now, you were fortunate that you had a similar run with the team last year, going to March and going to the NCAA tournament. So is there anything that, you now as one of those vocal leaders that you were talking about that can relate to or draw upon your experience from last year to maybe help some of those younger players this year?
Yeah, I definitely think don't take it for granted. Last year, obviously, time went by so fast. Like we were just like, oh, championship straight to March Madness. And it's almost like you're like in the moment, but it's just like so surreal. So I think just like this year, if we make it there, be in the moment and don't take anything for granted, because this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
It was funny. I've always said that in March, 2 weeks feels like 2 days. Like 1 minute you're getting ready for the game, and then the game was a week ago. Did you kind of feel that last year going through that?
Yeah, definitely. Flying out like 2 days after the championship, it felt like it was over before he even started.
So that's pretty good advice. I 100% agree with that. Let's talk about this, this week coming up, because there's still a regular season game to go before we get to the conference tournament, and it's an early rise game, 11 a.m. Is there any differences in your routine or your preparation for an 11 a.m. game versus you practiced, I'm sure, in the morning too. So is there anything different about getting up and getting ready to play a game at 11 a.m.?
Our shoot around is usually in the morning anyways, so I feel like we're already prepared in that sense. For me, I do the same thing every time there's a game. Nothing really special, but yeah, we'll be ready. So.
You were ready the last time you played SFU. It was a 45-point win, but that was 2 months ago. Now you're getting ready to play them really twice in a 5-day span. So what might be some of the challenges with, playing that regular season finale and then playing the same team just a couple days later when you get to the tournament? I mean, I would assume that it's tournament level every time you take the court, but what are some of those challenges from playing them 2 times so close together?
I think honestly, we just need to be in the right headspace, treat every game like we know we have the target on our back and we just need to play hard and do what we need to do, honestly. For challenges, I think it's playing the exact same team twice in a row. It's kind of like, okay, we know what they do, but we just need to stay with our principles, make sure that we're playing each player to their strengths and making sure that we're doing everything the way we want.
Now, before we get to the Final Five, I have one more question that might be an impossible question to answer, but I'll let you kind of have at it. If somehow we suspended the rules of time and you guys, your present team, went back in time and you played last year's team, how do you think that? I'm not going to ask you who's going to win, but how do you think that matchup would go? Because obviously you're in a different role this year than last year, so there's different players, different teams. So how do you think the 2 teams would match up?
I think for having the same principles, I really feel like we have different players and I don't know how we would match up, honestly. This year, I feel like we're more athletic this year. Last year, obviously, we had more experienced players. I think it would be a really good game.
I was going to say, there's a lot of people that pay some good money to see that.
Right. So I think we would have to play each other to see.
The good news is you would win either way because you're on both sides.
Right.
But let's get to the final 5 questions. These are quick hitters, so first thing that comes to your mind, just let it out, all right? Mm-hmm. All right, favorite color?
Pink. Favorite
karaoke song?
Mr. Brightside.
Ooh, really good one. Okay. Favorite snack or junk food?
Gummy sharks.
Okay. It is Read Across America Week, celebrating reading this week. So what is your favorite book? Could be a present book or a book you enjoyed growing up.
Probably the Harry Potter series.
Okay. And last one, FDU will win the NEC title in 2026 if, finish the sentence.
If we play with our standards and we play defense.
All right. Sounds good. Kaylee, thank you so much for stopping by and joining us today, and best of luck to you and the Knights the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
You can catch Kaylee and the Knights on Thursday morning, 11 a.m. on NEC Front Row. They try to close out a second straight perfect conference regular season against the St. Francis Red Flash. And then they'll be back on Monday, March 9th for the 7 p.m. quarterfinal round of the 2026 NEC Women's Basketball Tournament, once again hosting SFU. You can check out the full episode of the NEC Women's Basketball on the Run podcast. It's available now wherever you get your podcasts. And this has been the Commitment to Success Spotlight, brought to you by Provident Bank. Commitment you could count on.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Paul Dottino with the NEC Notebook, delivered to you by WB Mason. First place FDU became the second team in NEC history to go undefeated in conference play over back-to-back seasons. Coach Stephanie Gately relied on Ava Renninger, the regular season assist champ, who also tied for second in free throw percentage. The Knights' Kaylee McDonald made the most three-pointers, and Rebecca Osei-Owusu had the highest field goal percentage. LIU's Khadijah Toure captured 3 statistical titles, averaging 19 points, 10 rebounds, and nearly 1.4 blocks per game. Stonehill's Brooke Paquette topped the field in free throw shooting, and New Haven's Anaya McDonald-Perry led the steals chart. The NEC Final and automatic NCAA bid will air Sunday, March 15th on ESPNU at the highest remaining seed. Tip-off is at noon. And remember to catch all of your conference action on NECFrontRow.com and follow the tournament on X at NEC Sports or the web at NECSports.com.
And we welcome you back to live action. Second half underway at the Mercyhurst Athletic Center in Erie, Pennsylvania. This is NEC Full Court Press, the quarterfinal edition in the 2026 NEC Women's Basketball Tournament. We got the 2 seed, the Mercyhurst Lakers, taking on the Stonehill Skyhawks, the number 7 seed in the first half. Stonehill got off to an incredible start. They led by as many as 11 points, 24-13. a hot shooting first quarter, 57%, while Mercier struggled coming out of the gate, but that kind of flipped a little bit. Mercier started to get that stroke going in the second quarter, shot at 47%, and now we are in the second half, opening minute. Stonehill looking to keep the lead. Mercier's looking for the comeback, finding Hernandez. What a pass! That was a dime to CC Hernandez, who was playing for most of those last 5 minutes of that second quarter with 2 fouls. But we've seen a couple times now CC has come out after a slow first half and really score in bunches in the second half, and that could be the case once again tonight. Mercier is certainly hoping so as they trail by 2. Turnovers, Stonehill had 11 in the first half. Mercyhurst with only 5 points, though, off turnovers.
Wilson one-on-one with Paquette. Offensive rebound won't go, and it's back to a
rebounding department in the first quarter, in the first half, won by Stonehill pretty convincingly, 23-17.
Finding its way at the free throw line.
Pelletier creating some space, and she gets the bucket. Pelletier with 16 points in her playoff debut. The all-rookie team performer had double-doubles her last 2 games of the regular season, including 12 points, 10 rebounds against Mercyhurst.
Back at the free throw line and passed out to Lena Walls.
Pelletier, her career high is 19 that she had against Central Connecticut, so she's 3 shy of that, as Jenna Van Schaik now is up to 11. By the way, we should mention in the NEC tournament history, there have been a couple, not many, it's rare, but there have been a couple of instances of number 7 seeds upsetting number 2 seeds. And in fact, it happened pretty recently in 2022. I was there. Bryant on the road went to St. Francis, Brooklyn, knocked them off 65-63, couple late free throws with seconds left to win that game. Then, as the lowest remaining seed, they went to FDU, the number 1 seed, and they upset the number 1 seed. Bryant, as a 7 seed, got all the way to the championship game before falling to Mount St. Mary's. So Bryant, the last team as a number 7 seed to win and upset the number 2. It also happened back in 2003, way back when that was a year before my time. But the UMBC Terriers got the upset as a number 7 seed, I believe, over Quinnipiac, over Quinnipiac, advancing, and UMBC got to the championship game that year as well too, before falling to the Red Flash, part of that run for the Red Flash of 9 titles in 10 years. So usually, not only if you're a 7 seed and you upset the 2, not only do you win here, you also go on to the semifinals and win too from the small sample of previous opportunities that we've seen. Brooke Paquette coming up empty, and now here's Mercyhurst, a chance for their first lead of the game. This trip down the floor, and they turn it away, turn it over, trying to force it into the paint. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are about 5 minutes away, coming up the top of the hour for 3 more quarterfinals tipping off. FDU, St. Francis, LIU, Chicago State, and Lemoyne, Wagner. Those games you will see here on the Full Court Press. We will be going around and dropping in on all those games, plus the finish here in this game, which looks to be setting up to be somewhat dramatic. So all of that will be going on at once. Strap yourself in. The 7 o'clock hour is about to get very crazy here in the quarterfinals as Mercier scoops up the loose ball, thought about a transition 3. They're going to slow things up here. Again, the Lakers have not led in this game. A chance to grab the lead here this trip down the floor. Wilson with the open look on the drive, short on the layup attempt.
And the other way it will find for Brooke Paquette and the Skyhawks. Top of the screen. Finding its way back up to midcourt and slowed down for Paquette. Moved in as this one goes high post, back out to the wing. Staying outside of the perimeter.
Very patient possession here for Stonehill. They're under 10 on the shot clock. They got to move. Off a screen, Pelletier gets the ball back. That was partially blocked, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Another Stonehill turnover. They're now up to 14.
Mercier's got to build on this now, but that's a long possession right there.
It was Van Schaik with the fingertip that just got that shot to not find it.
Again, 18 turnovers and 23 turnovers respectively for Stonehill, their first two meetings against Mercyhurst. They're up to 14 here midway through the third quarter. Still just a couple minutes too early to send you to other action, so we'll take a quick break, come back, and then send you out to the three other quarterfinals that are tipping off coming up at 7 o'clock. So keep it right here. You're watching the NEC Full Court Press.
We are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students.
This is awesome, bro. This is what the Devils thrive in.
Lily, say hi to the camera.
The LIU Sharks are champions.
Central Connecticut, they win the NEC. There is Paquette, and she somehow beat the shot clock with a scoop.
Oh, what a move by Malachi Davis!
The Seahawks' first ever NEC Women's Indoor Crown.
And the goal for the NEC regular season title. It's Lemoyne.
LIU has done it. Back-to-back championships.
The Cougars have won the NEC championship.
With FDU Knights. Absolutely perfect.
Halfway through the third quarter, it's our first game of the night. This game about to be joined by three other quarterfinals here in a matter of moments, and we will get you out to those games as soon as they tip off. But right now, Mercyhurst, another opportunity to grab their first lead of the game coming off the timeout. Sophia Wilson, their leading scorer here in this playoff with 14 points. Jenna Van Schaik with 11. Walls has a three ball very early in this ball game, has been quiet ever since.
She's dribbling her way to the basket, throws up an
Wilson again short on the layup, and two Skyhawks fighting with each other for the loose ball. By the way, coming up at halftime of our 7 o'clock games, we will see the post-game press conferences from both of these two coaches and selected players, Trish Brown and Erin Mills-Reed. So when our 7 o'clock games go to halftime, you will see the reaction from however this game ends. So that part of our halftime festivities in the second wave of games that is just about ready to tip off. A couple turnovers in a row. Mercyhurst has now gone over 3 minutes since their last points. They whittled the lead for Stonehill down to 1. Ella Pelletier got a layup. She's now 1 point shy of her career high. She's at 18, and there's going to be a foul. It's going to be on Baroni. That's her second. It's going to send Stonehill to the line for some free throws.
Yes, she is. Her defense has been tough.
Now 3:41 to play.
Again, this is what's at stake here tonight.
All right, on the Mercyhurst broadcast, they're throwing up the bracket. This is your slate. Mercyhurst Stonehill down at the bottom, the lone 6 p.m. game that's in the third quarter right now. The three other quarterfinals getting underway as we speak. FDU St. Francis, 4-5 matchup, Wagner Lemoyne, and the 3-6 matchup in LIU and Chicago State. Our next whistle, we will leave here and we will take you to all three of those other games going on right now, just underway in the NEC tournament quarterfinals. Again, twice before in the NEC tournament as a 7 seed beaten a 2 seed. Last happened in 2022. It was 4 years ago. Stonehill looking to do the trick here tonight.
Very big help in the first half of her.
Huge part of that turning of the tide for the Lakers. Up the wing it'll go, now driven back down.
Van Schaik driving in, a circus shot, nearly got it to go. JVS is going to go to the line for free throws. So 40-36, Stonehill with a 4-point lead. They've led throughout. They're looking to get to the finish line. We will keep you posted, and obviously we will be checking in on this game as it gets to the finish line. But now it's time for our first jump of the night. 7 o'clock game's underway as we begin our whip around coverage here on the Full Court Press.
FDU Knights against the 8-seeded St. Francis Red Flash. Charlie Carbonetto alongside my fabulous partner Jen Quirk. Pleasure to be with you, Jen. Pleasure to be keeping everybody at home company for this one. A quarterfinal for tonight for the Knights as they go back-to-back championships. A little history on the line for them.
Yeah, the Knights are trying to defend her crown. One of the phrases that we have here with the Knights with their usual starters in the lineup as we get ready for an NEC championship. A win here tonight for the Knights will be their 37th in a row for conference play.
The Knights coming out with their typical starting five: Renninger, McDonald, Gerke, Owusu, and Crosby. They own the game's first offensive possession, and Kaylee McDonald will start things off with a bucket from deep.
The single-season three-point record holder for the Knights. She hit it about 4 games ago, and she keeps adding to that mark.
Leah Crosby deflects it out of bounds and creates the steal. FDU causes a turnover on their first possession. For the Red Flash in the starting lineup, Micaiah Ward, Sonia Sato, a graduate center from Japan, Gemma Walker, Shelby Ricks, Batia
She gets
Sveta.
off to a 3 here. She could become just the 7th different individual player to reach.
And the Knights 18-0 in the regular season. Have won 37 straight conference games. There's McDonald again off the side of the rim. No good.
Trying another 3 ball.
Defensive rebound and then a foul whistle.
This is the second meeting
believe
in the
against
last 5
Rebecca
days
Ose-Owusu.
between these two teams.
Now the Red Flash have played, were the last opponent of the Knights as they played last Thursday and stayed in Hackensack or nearby for the remainder of the time here. But they held a rebounding edge the first quarter and almost through the first half. So let's see, that's something the Knights usually are powerful in, but they weren't against them in the first half. They did have the ending margin at the end.
All the way to the cup goes Sato, but it is no good. FDU closes out the defensive rebound. Here is Gerke in the corner, no good. Owusu has it, gets it stripped. The Red Flash looking to run.
Finals, Jess Kovacs.
Ricks pulls up.
Went berserk. She nearly had a 40-point game against FDU.
Sato, no good. Gerke with the rebound. The Knights got their fair share of accolades today in the All-NEC Awards.
Hasn't beaten FDU since the
Gerke being one of them, knocks down the 3.
NEC Defensive Player of the Year.
The Defensive Player of the Year and the second teamer gives FDU a 6-0 lead.
Game for FDU in this game to start things off.
And teammate
they get out to a
Kaylee McDonald was also on the all-defensive team and was also an all-NEC second teamer.
Yeah, their duo defenders on the perimeter has made this FDU defense what it is. As McDonald, something she does really well out of the guard spot, grabs the board. FDU looking the other way.
To start this game against the team
not afraid to shoot it in the early going.
One of the best field goal percentage defense in the NEC, the best scoring defense in the NEC, and one of the best scoring defenses in the entire country. Top 3, UConn number
7
1.
on the shot clock.
FDU
cuts in.
Flip-flop.
No good. Owusu, another offensive rebound. She'll have one more shot at it.
Second chance opportunity and another triple.
Good to be Gerke.
And that's one of the things the Knights do so well is getting on the offensive boards. It was a great defensive possession for the Red Flash, holding them to the shot clock was down below 10, but that second rebound really paid dividends for the Knights, hitting a 3 off of it.
The Brenda Riley Coach of the Year.
The Knights are now 3 of 5 from deep to start this game.
754 wins. Raphael McNeil, the acting head
Renninger
coach on
gets
the
to
other
the
end
cup
for the Red Flash.
and
One
parts the
career win,
seas.
so
11-0 Knights.
753 win
That'll be a
differential
timeout
between the
taken
two
by
coaches.
St. Francis
Renninger with the bucket.
as the number
It's an
one seed
11-0
has
run for FDU
shown their
in the first
dominance
3
early
minutes,
on
9
in this
seconds.
one, Jen.
Won't get back.
St. Francis looking for
FDU
an upset
already
tonight.
kind of
You think
running
maybe the
away,
Knights
but
are looking
we'll
ahead,
continue our
looking
whip
at
around
Thursday,
coverage. 2 other
potentially a
quarterfinals
championship
that just
Sunday, but
started
not the
at
case so
7
far.
p.m.
Coach Gately has
We'll
them ready.
take a look in
Yeah, I will
Let's
say
stop
that the
right now, check in on the
St.
number 3
Francis
seed,
came out
LIU.
really
All right, this is the Shark Tank. This is where the men's championship game will take place tomorrow night. But right now, this is the home of the women's basketball quarterfinals. The LIU Sharks hosting their first tournament game since the 2010 NEC championship when they hosted the Red Flash. Came up short in that game. LIU looking for their 20th win of the season here tonight. They've already improved their win total from 13 games a year ago. 19 wins coming into tonight. They were 6 wins last year. And they get started with a 3. 3 ball by pure shooter Hannah Humphrey. And LIU adjusting their lineup. Janessa Williams, their second leading scorer, not in the starting lineup here tonight. LIU has won both meetings against Chicago State this year. 83-68. Just a couple weeks ago, despite LIU having a short bench and a short roster, they won pretty convincingly, 83-68. And then here in Brooklyn, they had a 9-point win, 60-51 back in early January, the second game of the regular season. Khadijah Torre commits the foul. Torre earlier today was honored as the NEC Player of the Year, just the 3rd Player of the Year in LIU history, and she's with some pretty elite company. Val Nainima, Tamika Dudley, 2 of the all-time greats, and Khadijah Torre is now on that list. Torre also the newcomer of the year. And there you go. You know it's playoff time. Our buddy Neil Harrow wearing the light blue jacket, breaking it out for the playoffs. Great job there, Coach. Looking sharp on the sideline, just like he hopes that his team is looking sharp on the court against this set of Cougars who are looking to get an upset as a number 6 seed for a second straight year. Last year they went on the road. They beat Central Connecticut, a Central Connecticut State team that also had the Player of the Year on their roster. They went in and they knocked them out of the playoffs. Kiki Gaines has been making up some of the lost load on the scoring department with Janessa Williams out the last couple games of the regular season.
Back of that replay, Gaines drawing the contact. Gaines getting the start. She's really blossomed during the
Gaines coming off a 16-point outing in the regular season finale, a road win against Wagner. The irony for LIU, a team that they went 1-15, something like that on the road a year ago. They had to win their share of road games at the end of the season just to earn this home game. So the irony is they had to win on the road to get home. And they did. Big win at Wagner on Thursday night to get the number 3 seed, losing on tiebreakers to Mercyhurst. Both the Sharks and the Lakers each finished at 14-4, but via tiebreaker, Mercyhurst getting the nod as the number 2. So if all holds chalk and the top seeds advance, which is not a sure thing, but if all holds serve and the home teams win, LIU would have to go all the way out to Erie, Pennsylvania, instead of having the Lakers come to Brooklyn.
And that's what happens when other players try to score. They have to. You're going to try to stop the ball, most importantly. So then
Khadijah Torre, the senior from Silver Spring, Maryland. Time with Coach Harrow when he was an assistant at JMU. Last couple years at Arizona State. Came over to the Sharks. Super athletic, up and down the floor. You know, we talked with Coach Harrow back at Media Day, and talked with Khadijah as well. And just from the brief tape that I saw of her playing at Arizona State, I said to both her and Coach, I'm like, hey, you know, she moves up and down the floor like that athletic, that big, can shoot mid-range, can get to the basket. She could be a double-double a night in the NEC, and Coach Harrow, without missing a beat, was like, yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping for. And that's exactly what we got. That's exactly what they got. Dominant season, 13 double-doubles on the year for number 3 in white.
Knocked away, stays right here.
And that one rejected, saying not here in the Shark Tank.
Playing along the perimeter a little too much right now, just a little passive. They had one penetration, and that worked, so I think they need to continue that in their game.
Allen is knocked away by Toure. And then a trip against
For Chicago State, they come in at 9-22, 8-10 in conference play. They lost their regular season finale at Stonehill, a game in which they went in having an opportunity to perhaps get a number 4 seed in a home game in the playoffs. That opportunity was taken away with their loss against the Skyhawks, so they knew that they were going to be on the road as either the 5 or the 6, and now they're back at the 6 seed for a second straight year under Corey Irvin and her second campaign. This was a Cougars team that got to the semifinals, and they got to a game last year where they were playing for an automatic berth into the NCAA tournament.
Grad student from Kendleton, Texas.
This year they had to overcome injuries, as many teams have, and one of their key players stepping up was Keona McGee, averaging 12 points per game, a second-team all-conference performer. McGee with 19 points, 19 points, 19 points, and 20 points in her last 4 games of the regular season. Brianna Hill, the junior guard, averaging 5 points, 3 rebounds with the bucket. It's 9-12 in favor of the Sharks.
So that might be good for Chicago State, just to waste off some time. They did that just now, wasting off about 7 seconds, 7, 8 seconds off the shot clock.
Here's Wiley. Toure driving dish.
Toure driving through 2 defenders. Nice dish, and the triple rattles in from the corner. Akridge.
Nice shot, catch and shoot. That's her game.
7th in the
Slangela Akridge, the junior, 8th in the league, 35% from behind the arc. Rattled in the triple from the left corner. Again, Toure drawing all kinds of attention. Gets it back outside the perimeter for a 3. That's Coach Harrow's style. That's what he was looking for, building this team. Toure, that draws all the attention, passing out to shooters on the perimeter, and they're doing their thing. LIU shooting 62%, 3 for 5 from behind the arc. The Sharks have a 15-4 lead as we have a timeout in Brooklyn. All right, our final stop that we're checking in for the first time here, already underway. It is the 4-5 matchup. The Wagner Seahawks taking on the Lemoyne Dolphins. About 2 minutes to go in the first quarter here. Both teams
to lay that one up for 2. And Lemoyne's got 5 second chance points.
And through the trees, Wangalo with the driving layup. Lemoyne takes the lead back.
Minute 39 to go here in the first. KK, stop and pop 3, good!
And
Wagner,
the triple
the
by Casey from the right side. Wagner takes the lead right back. Clea Casey, the redshirt junior from Ontario, a near 30% three-point shooter. 1:20 to go.
It does not matter what the record is right
These
now.
2 teams split their 2 meetings during the regular season, each winning on their home court. So now we go and meet in Staten Island. Wagner and Lemoyne both 9-9 in conference play. Lemoyne won 6 of their final 8 games of the regular season. Wagner was 6-4 at the end of January in conference play. They went 3-5 the rest of the way in their final 8 games, but still good enough to finish top 4 in the standings and get the nod for the home game via tiebreaker.
Clark out to Wangalo, down the lane, blocked by P. Gets her
Another drive. Wagner has some of the biggest size in the league. They're physical. They get rebounds. They can block shots.
In the corner, 3-pointer, good!
And if they could score in transition, that's going to be trouble for Lemoyne. Maria Dureste, the senior from Spain, only had 2 points in the regular season finale. A steal by one of the best defensive players in the game, KJ Foz. An all-defensive team performer for
the last couple of weeks of the regular
a second straight season.
Just been absolutely futile.
Lemoyne.
For the first probably 25 games.
6-second differential in the two clocks.
4-point lead for the Seahawks. About a 6-second differential between game and clock.
Good spin move, Caden Clark. The freshman Clark, her sister Eli, a sophomore, had a big-time postseason performance, 14 points for Lemoyne in last year's quarterfinal upset win as the 5 seed against the SFU Red Flash. So Clark got the final points. Foz had a jumper opportunity there from about 15 feet away that drew back iron. It's a slim 2-point lead for Wagner over Lemoyne as we go to the second quarter. Our whip around coverage continues here on the Full Court Press. All right, another check-in on our game that started back at 6 o'clock that now is in the fourth quarter, approaching halfway through, and Mercyhurst, who trailed for the majority of this game, has a 2-point lead, 52-50. Sophia Wilson, 19 points to lead the way. Van Schaik drives in and draws the foul.
Getting that one on the backboard.
Dowdy going to get called for the foul. Dowdy has a couple of blocks. Thought she was close to getting another here.
Yeah, it was all arm on that one. Well, you still prevent the
flopping Van Schaik on the way in.
That's just been.
Van Schaik can drive. She could facilitate, pass the ball. She could shoot a 3. She could make a jumper, but she could also just lower that head, drive in, and get right to the basket. And she can absorb contact, too. She makes her first free throw.
And gives the Lakers a 3-point lead. Sophia Wilson.
Van Schaik, an 80% free throw shooter, 4th best in the NEC. She makes both of them. And she's up to 14 points here tonight. Stonehill scoreless in their last 2 minutes. As Mercyhurst now has their largest lead of the game.
Directing traffic, gives it back to Amaya Dowdy.
Mercyhurst trying to win their first ever NEC tournament game and host a semifinal at home on Thursday night.
Earlier too. Same play, kind of reaching over. You just got to be careful with that stuff.
That's what you can do when you're Dowdy and you can.
Ella Pelletier, one of the big stories for Coach Brown and the Skyhawks. 22 points tonight, a new career high, to go along with 6 rebounds.
Every possession is critical.
Dowdy traveled. Yes, she did. She one too many steps on her way in. Turnovers starting to pile up. That's the 19th for the Skyhawks. 14 points off turnovers for Mercyhurst here in this quarterfinal matchup. We'll step aside, down to the wire in this one. We'll be back shortly, but first, other action for around the NEC here on quarterfinal Monday night.
All across the board for this year's Knights, and maybe some were projecting a higher scoring total for her going into her sophomore season.
The FDU Knights look like they have this one in firm control after the first 10 minutes. They have a 28-11 lead. They shot 11 for 16, 69%, 4 threes in the first half. In the first quarter. Meanwhile, St. Francis 5 for 15.
Well, not sure what's going on. Yeah,
Ava Reniger,
somebody was removed from the court. That's correct.
Is known as the general. So here comes the general. It's sort of the thing that goes in my hand for those Hamilton fans out there. And she just directs traffic and makes this team work. And having Reese Downey to learn from her, only 1 year apart, and she's only a sophomore. 2-time all first team NEC as a sophomore.
Against SFU.
Yeah, certainly on track to have an all-time great career. So another championship would be nice to add to that resume as well.
And a flag football quarterback in high school. So now that we have flag football,
a little post-retirement thing as Reese Downey gets the cup and banks it in.
I don't know if Coach Gately would let her play until after her senior year.
And
Ricks lays it in.
answering right back. Ricks up to 8.
St. Francis has been able to score a few points in transition.
Shelby
got
Ricks
downhill.
had 10 points
Faced
last
too much
game
resistance
against
going to the
FDU,
basket.
averaging 11.5 points, 6.5 rebounds on the season.
Renninger puts it down on the floor.
Renninger pass
Kicks it
cut
to
off,
Gerke.
gets it back outside the perimeter to Madlena Gerke.
Renninger
Nearly stolen.
flicks across. Downey for 3, no good.
Fighting Downey, no good on the 3 ball.
And another
And we have
foul
a
whistled
whistle.
against
So
Rebecca
30
Osei
to
Owusu.
13, FDU in front.
And
we'll be
that
back
will
for another
be
look
her
in shortly,
second.
But right now, let's take you back out to other action.
May
here
not
in the
see her
quarterfinals.
left.
Offensive
2:29 to play first quarter in Brooklyn. The LIU Sharks are on a 6-0 run. And it's a run that came quick. A 6-0 run in the last 40 seconds or so. It's an 11-1 run that goes back even further than that. They're trying to extend it here with the possession. Looking for a 3. And they got it. LIU 15-point advantage, their largest lead of the game, coming with 2 minutes to play in the first.
28% three-point shooter. Knocking it down, no trouble. Largest lead of the day for the Sharks.
Weaving her way through traffic. That's Allen getting the layup.
That ends a 6-0 run in 37 seconds.
LIU, a team that was picked 8th in the preseason poll this year, defied a lot of preseason prognostications, centered around the player of the year, Khadijah Toure, who has just 2 points but 4 rebounds and 3 assists in this game. It's been 25 years since LIU won their first and only NEC championship. That came back in 2001. LIU looking for their first semifinal appearance since 2018. And that was on a neutral court when they went all the way out to Moon Township, Pennsylvania to play their neighbors, St. Francis. They had a battle of Brooklyn, having to go all the way out to almost in Pittsburgh to play it. And as the
Their motto a couple of weeks ago. Their motto now is enjoy
victors, they got to go to the semifinals, battling tough before eventually falling to the host team, the Colonials, in the semis. But they're looking to get to the semis for the first time since then here tonight by winning a quarterfinal on their home court. Humphrey with 13 points to lead the way for the Sharks in this first quarter. Humphrey's season high was 15 points, something she had a couple of different times, including in the last meeting against the Cougars. Off the steal, Champagne gets the score.
beautiful execution on the press and the pressure.
Head coach Corey Irvin said this is how her team
Kiara Champagne with the bucket. A little pressure defense for Chicago State as LIU gets it to the half court. Open look for 3 that just grazed the side of the iron.
What makes playing against a team
Hannah Humphrey, by the way, the 13 points for LIU. She is a perfect 4 for 4 from the floor, 3 for 3 from the perimeter. So a perfect first quarter for Humphrey.
Versatile flex 5. They have traditional back to the basket post, and that makes it hard to penetrate. That also makes it hard to post up.
Gant inside.
On the drive, a long leaner trying to do some geometry there off the glass. Wouldn't go, and now the shot clock is turned off. LIU will have an opportunity for the final shot of this first quarter. A chance perhaps to get over 30 points in the first quarter of play. Final 10 seconds.
5 seconds. Gaines.
Kiki Gaines called for the offensive foul. That's Urlacher.
That is her first personal.
Drawing the charge, number 33.
3.7 seconds as we look back at this last offensive. Champagne. Travels.
A foul? No, they could call it travel.
That's time for a catch and shoot.
So a turnover there for Chicago State, their 5th turnover. Both teams with 5 turnovers in the first quarter. So LIU with about a second left, a chance to inbound and shoot. Open look!
And she's fouled.
And there's a foul?
Yeah. Player's day.
I would imagine they have to go to the monitor to make sure that the foul occurred before the lights lit up the backboard.
You leave it. You leave it. You leave the heave.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the shot was well off before
Now fouling, 3 free throws on the way.
that backboard illuminated.
Down by 15, which you were already down by.
Right.
And you've already,
So this could be an opportunity for LIU to get over 30 in the first quarter from the free throw line.
Look at it as well. That's off.
It's pretty clear as day to me. I would have been surprised if they didn't call it, honestly.
Our officiating crew, Scott Perkins.
All right, so we will keep an eye on this. End of the first quarter. Could be free throws for LIU, but right now, Mercyhurst Stonehill in the final minute. We'll take you back out to Erie, Pennsylvania for the conclusion of our first quarterfinal of the night.
Foul. So shoot.
She's done all night.
All right, so here we go. 1 minute to go. It's 63-57, now 63-59 after that Pelletier bucket. Pelletier with 27 points on the night. Mercyhurst trailed for the majority, the entire first half, most of the third quarter. They got their first lead late in the third quarter. They haven't let it go, but Stonehill has been creeping around. They play the possession out, count it, and one. Jenna Van Schaik, JVS, putting on the cape and trying to take the Lakers to the semifinals.
Classic Jenna Van Schaik for you.
Woo!
A 22-point night. She wants to make it 23 and give the Lakers a 7-point lead. We'll get a timeout from the Skyhawks. You need your stars.
That could be the dagger. Jenna Van Schaik 6 for her last 7. And now she's going to get a free throw opportunity. 22 points. Again, she's been over 20 points on average the last 5 games of the regular season. And now a playoff performance, her first go-around here in the NEC tournament. And Mercyhurst 34 seconds away from earning a home game in the semifinals on Thursday night. They would be one step closer from a championship game appearance, just like their men's team in the championship game tomorrow.
You get possession, you get your timeout, and you get set back up on your side of the court.
For Mercyhurst, we look at this game. Stonehill came out hot shooting, but Mercyhurst, again, they always meet every single green light they like. They more green lights than the St. Patrick's Day parade. They keep shooting, and after a slow start, they went from 47% in the second quarter, 54% shooting in the third quarter, now 55%. They've gotten better every single quarter shooting the basketball. And on the other side, Stonehill couldn't sustain that initial wave that they had early in the game. They've been pretty steady, but again, hadn't duplicated that barrage that they hit Mercyhurst with right from the jump when they burst out to that double-digit lead in the about halfway through the first quarter. Stonehill 19 turnovers. Mercyhurst has capitalized with 17 points off turnovers. The points in the paint are even, rebounding in favor of Stonehill, as we somewhat expected coming in, 31-24. As the officials are still under the monitor trying to get this one right. Again, we're keeping our eye on all of the games. We saw moments ago the foul right at the end of the first quarter in LIU. The officials were at the monitor checking that out. They did award LIU free throws. Akridge did get 3 free throw tries. She made all 3. So LIU leads Chicago State 32-17 at the end of the first quarter in that one. So didn't want to leave you hanging. We'll get you back out to that game and our other 2 quarterfinals as well that are going on right now. FDU with a 35-21 lead off St. Francis. 4 minutes to play in the first half there. And 22-16, Wagner over Lemoyne with about just under 5 minutes to play in that game in the first half.
Even with the long delay.
And we get a timeout here by Stonehill.
Skyhawks will take their timeout on the possession.
Jenna Van Schaik, 23 points, 7 for 9 from the free throw line to go along with 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Jenna Van Schaik even had 2 blocks in this game. I mean, literally doing everything she can, fearless, leaving it all on the court. Doesn't want her season to come to an end here tonight, wants it to keep going.
Play hero ball to get these quick possessions, and you work on these so much in practice where it's times against you. You're down by 3 possessions.
Now Trisha Brown and Stonehill, they've seen the proverbial rabbit pulled out of the hat a couple times this year against them. They had a 4-point lead against Wagner with seconds left, and Wagner had a quick 5-0 run and ended up winning the game right at the end. That was the first Wagner-Stonehill game right at the beginning of the season. So now Stonehill's the one that's going to have to pull out something here, rabbit out of the hat with 32 seconds left. They do, with the timeout, get the ball in the half court, but they're going to need to score and score quickly.
Shots where you can, time's against you. Inbound immediately, Webster with it. Lakers are going to play loose and not allow any free points. Van Schaik didn't get the memo as she...
Oh, and Pelletier drew the foul. Who was on? That was Van Schaik. Van Schaik.
She'll bleed for this team if she's gotta.
That'll be number 2.
Right there.
Yeah, Van Schaik is the kind of player that would bleed for the team if she had to. Hopefully she doesn't, because that would take a while to clean up the court. So we don't need any of that. Certainly the point well made. One of those players that wears her heart on her sleeve, especially this time of year, senior season in March Madness. Playing for a championship. Paquette short, but there's a foul underneath the basket.
Will give the Lakers possession. Oh man, she had to earn that one. That arm's going to be pretty well bruised. You see her at the left side of your screen.
Yeah, is that number 5, Rissy Smith, the freshman from Massachusetts, committing the foul, sending Lauren Stover to the free throw line on the opposite end. Stover, 71% free throw shooter. Stover played for our old friend Maria Marquezano at Purdue Fort Wayne.
No points to her credit just yet.
2 seasons before coming over to Mercyhurst last year. Stover on the scoreboard tonight, her first points.
Perfectly today. 67-59.
Mercyhurst continues to make their hay at the free throw line.
And it's a 9-point lead.
They're 13 for 19. They get to the basket. They get to the free throw line. They make teams foul them. And then when they get to the line, they make them more times than not. The second best free throw shooting team in the NEC. We'll get another Stonehill timeout. They'll be able to move it into the half court with 19 seconds left.
The stars, of course, we talked about them.
See if we can get a quick visit. No, it was a 30-second timeout. We're going to try to take a quick look at another game, but 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here.
You're coming in, you're maybe not too hot in the first half, and you're coming in like that. That's
season's starting to run on empty for Stonehill.
To have such a short-term memory.
Absolutely.
Hourglass starting to run on empty, a team that perhaps they're better. It doesn't really have that many seniors. Paige Martin, Amaya Dowdy.
Quick shot here from Pelletier, falls off the front.
They'll get Brooke Paquette back for her senior year, so and good recruiting, players getting healthy. So there's a great opportunity for Stonehill to be right back towards the top of the league next year. That's where a lot of people forecasted them prior to the start of the season as the number 2 seed in the preseason poll. You see number 25 in the green jersey in the huddle. That's Coach Mills Reed's son, Hayden. We saw him at the Wagner game. He was bouncing around all over the place, but he's been quite the good luck charm for the Mercyhurst Lakers ever since he's been hanging around in the locker room, celebrating with the team, becoming an unofficial member of the team. Again, Mercyhurst has won 13 of their last 15, perhaps 14 out of their last 16 coming up here, and about to pick up their first NEC tournament playoff win.
Lakers will send out Erica Hall, Sophia Wilson, Lena Walls.
First playoff win since 2018 for Mercyhurst.
Their ball. They're going to try and play keep away as long as they can. And they'll get just that. Erica Hall's
just seconds away. And Hall's going to get a wide open layup, the cherry on top of the sundae. Stonehill out of timeouts, 13 seconds to go.
An 11-point lead for the Lakers.
Paquette with the prayer. The prayer is answered for Brooke Paquette. Oh, man.
Timeout immediately called from Lena Walls. Boy, I mean, that's Harlem Globetrotters length 3.
Paquette with 11 points.
It wasn't even
on the night. Paquette over 1,000 in her career. She got that a couple games ago. The first team all-conference performer. 65 consecutive starts. All right, let's take a quick jaunt to another game here at 9.2 to go.
On top, a 42-28 lead. Jen, your thoughts heading into the second half?
42-28 advantage.
I think the Knights generally third quarter is where they turn it up, so let's look for that
we will come back after the break.
Pretty balanced scoring for the FDU Knights. They have a big lead over St. Francis at intermission. All right, so 9.2 seconds remaining at Mercyhurst. 8-point lead for the Lakers. And we saw Lemoyne just a couple of years ago pick up a victory in their first NEC tournament, getting all the way to the championship game against Sacred Heart. Mercyhurst trying to have a 1,000 batting average in their NEC tournament tenure.
That's a free possession for the Skyhawks. Just a missed bounce pass, a little too hard.
Stonehill fighting to the final buzzer here. They get it to Brooke Paquette again. That's blocked, but the putback.
Alley-oop in a sense right there. Another 2
That's Dadson. Okay, 6-point game, 3 seconds left at Mercyhurst. Okay, we mentioned last time we checked in at this game, there was a foul right at the end of the first quarter. LIU got all 3 free throws. Acreage made all 3 free throws. They had over 30 points, a 32-17 advantage at the end of the first quarter, and so far, LIU on a 10-6 run to start the second quarter. The player of the year, Khadijah Toure, at the free throw line. This free throw would get her to 9 points to go with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block, as you see Corey Irvin in her second year as the head coach of the Cougars. Champaign leads the way for Chicago State with 7 points. So there's 9 points for Toure. Let's get you back to the ending in Erie, Pennsylvania.
I respect the effort, but you don't have enough time to try and force it.
All right, so here we go. Time just about to expire here. 0.5 seconds left.
Well,
they're going to give possession to Stonehill, but they have no timeouts. Down 6. One last heave at the buzzer, and this one is over. The Mercyhurst Lakers are 1 for 1 in the history of the NEC tournament. The Lakers are headed to the NEC tournament semifinals. They will host a tournament game in the semifinals on Thursday night as they knock off the reigning runners-up 70-64. We will hear from both coaches coming up, the post-game interviews during halftime of all of our 7 o'clock games, but right now let's get you back to some more live action here on the Full Court Press. Okay, this has been a nip and tuck game so far, as you would have expected for the 4-5 matchup.
Serves to ice the shooter. It's a timeout that
Wagner with a 1-point advantage, 24-23.
They sorted out. They finally got the clock straight.
Wagner hosting a quarterfinal for the first time since 2021, when the tournament was just the semifinals and the final. They're 5-2 are the Seahawks all-time in the quarterfinal round, taking on a Lemoyne team that's 2-0 all-time in the quarterfinal round. They've won both quarterfinals that they've been involved in, winning at least one playoff game in each of their first 2 years in the NEC tournament. Sierra Lennon, who scored her 1,000th point the last time these two teams played, makes 2 free throws to give Lemoyne the lead. Lemoyne led by as many as 5. Wagner led by as many as 7. It's a 1-point lead. Shot clock turned off. KJ Foz right in between the circles. To the near side, gets a screen, passing to that far corner, and the triple by Fernandez de Colea. She's up to 9 points, and that 3 will take us to halftime. All the momentum on Wagner's side right now. A first half that featured 2 ties, 3 lead changes, 5-point lead and a 7-point lead, the biggest margins for each team. Near deadlock, these two teams. Wagner just a slim 2-point advantage as we keep things going. One other quarterfinal going on live right now before we go to halftime. It's going to be LIU and Chicago State. Under 5 media timeout. They're just coming out here in Brooklyn. High scoring affair for the LIU Sharks, a team that was one of the best offensive teams all season long. They averaged 70 points per game. They're over 50 with still 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. They're shooting 71% from the field. Humphrey with 16. Already surpassing her career high. Gaines in double figures with 11. Torre has 11 points, the player of the year. Chicago State trying to press. They forced the turnover. Thought about it. Champagne, the leading scorer right now for the Cougars, trying the 3 ball, coming up empty. Champagne with 10 points. Nunez fouled. The Nunez sisters. We know about the Clark sisters for Lemoyne in the other game. We have the Wiley sister, or the Nunez sisters, here in this game. Layla, the freshman, as well as Carmela, both from Portland, Oregon. Layla's been thrust into the starting lineup here in the second half of conference play due to a lot of the injuries mounting up for LIU.
Makes her contagious.
Second in the league in blocks is Layla Nunez. 89% free throw shooter. She makes the second.
4 points a game. 52-28. Quarterfinal game of the
The LIU Sharks have already assured themselves of their first overall winning season since 2012 when they won 21 games. A win tonight would get them to 20 games for the first time, win 20 games for the first time since that 2012 season. They've endured 13 straight losing campaigns. Again, 9 games over 500 right now. They've assured themselves of a winning season here in year 1 under Neil Harrow, who has turned this program around. 13 wins and counting.
That's a long drive.
Kayla Mount, we saw her in the regular season finale. Very versatile post player, sophomore.
Yeah, what'll be interesting is I wonder if it's the same thing that'll happen with the
6 points, 4 rebounds. Now, last year, Chicago State, because of the uneven amount of teams in the league, Chicago State had a bye on the final game of the regular season. So even though they clinched a 6 seed, they had 9 days. They were off the regular season finale. So they had 9 days to prepare for a playoff game last year against Central Connecticut. They didn't have that luxury of 9 days to prepare for the LIU Sharks. And LIU here tonight smelling blood in the water.
It is up there.
No, yeah, for sure. I was just saying there's so many.
There are.
Mount with a nice bucket off the glass and in. She has 11. She's into double figures. Now the leading scorer for Chicago State.
At it from a disadvantage because they're going from D2 to D1.
Exactly. That's why I think it's punishment for no reason.
I agree.
Switching to the left hand, driving in off the mark on the layup attempt. Mount getting the outlet to McGee. McGee trying to create, and she'll get to the free throw line.
For her first points of the night.
We talked about McGee's second-team all-conference performer and her finish to the season the last 4 games. Slow start here tonight, 0 for 4 from the field. Still shut out on the scoreboard, looking to change that here from the charity stripe.
Last year as a freshman, hardly played, averaged 1 point per game. This season, 11th in the conference in scoring.
She makes the first.
That's crazy.
Corey
Irvin in her first year, 7 wins, 6-10 in conference play. The Cougars improved both of those marks to 9 wins overall and 8-10 in conference play. So 2 conference wins better. There's Nunez from the corner. Layla Nunez knocks down the triple. She's now up to 11. Her third 3 of the game. She's 3 for 3. Mount rattles it in from about 6 feet away. LIU 9 for 13 from behind the arc. Humphrey is 4 for 4 for 3. Nunez 3 for 3 from behind the arc. 4 Sharks in double figures scoring with under 3 minutes to go.
But that's almost a turnover, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, and the players are not hearing me.
So again, we have 1 game that's gone final here tonight. Mercyhurst into the semifinals. They win their first ever NEC tournament game. The Lakers will host a semifinal game on Thursday. Their opponent still to be determined here over the next hour or so. At the half, FDU leads St. Francis 42-28, and we saw right at the end of the half the 3 ball for Wagner, giving them the lead over Lemoyne 27-25 going into the locker room.
She's on triple-double watch.
Yeah.
11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists.
Won't be the first. Will not be the first.
I believe they're talking about triple doubles. I believe there's only been 1 triple double in the history of the NEC tournament.
Good on both.
But anytime Khadija Toure takes the floor, it's something that you certainly have to watch.
Here's McGee.
Ooh, nice spin move, and McGee will draw the foul. So McGee got her first point from the charity stripe moments ago. She'll get free throws here. Saw Neil Harrow there. You also saw in the background there on the bench Carly Clare, who Coach Harrow even got a tie on too. That's very sharp, Coach. But Carly Clare, you might remember, she was a 2-time champion volleyball player. She was a volleyball champion for Chicago State last year, and then now coming over to LIU this past season and winning Setter of the Year, was on the NEC championship team for the Sharks. And because of the short bench, she's a former high school basketball player. I believe her parents, basketball players and coaches respectively. So free signups, come on down. And she's actually seen time the last couple games. And the way this is going, may see time here tonight.
14 of 27 against Lemoyne.
24-point advantage, LIU shooting at 70%. 10 for 14 from behind the arc. 30 of their 60 points have come from 3.
coach, as a player, what do you want me to do? I have to live with that. You're 2.5 feet behind from the line. I'm thinking that's not going. You know.
Mount, the sophomore center for the Cougars, the Southsiders.
It's going to put up around 40 points.
Back iron.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Chicago State, a team that averages 62 points per game. Right now they're at that average, 36 points. Still 2 minutes to play here in the half.
Many a games, I'm pretty sure. Thousands of games. It's rare that a team shoots like this in the
Makes the
first
second.
half and come out blazing like this again in the second half. But if LIU does, I mean, they're on pace for 100 points for the game.
In a tournament game, no less.
They're on pace for 120. That's rejected.
This is an opportunity right here for Chicago State to fire themselves up. Beautiful turnaround from Mount. You miss the free throws, you come back and you get a stop.
She has been the bright spot. What a game for her so far.
And LIU missing a first-team all-conference performer in Janessa Williams. Khadijah Toure on the first team as well. 2 first-teamers for LIU. Toure thought about it. That's one thing she's been working on this year. Showing off her range a little bit. Stretching out the defense. Can also drive it in. No foul called. Toure missed the layup. Trying to get underneath to Bass, and that's turned over. Akridge lets it fly, no good. Offensive rebound.
She'll say that was a pass.
Yeah. The ones that you're
Toure up to 6 rebounds. Gets the deflection right back.
Toure, the spin.
Spin move, gravity not on her side.
5 on 4.
Champagne, little runner, got it. 10 feet away right from the NEC logo. Champagne, 12 points.
Nearing the final minute of this first half. LIU
1 minute to play.
In this first half.
Toure, there you go. We said she could shoot it, and she just knocks it down. Toure, a 31% three-point shooter. Raining threes. She's up to 16 points with 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block. That's your player of the year and your newcomer of the year. First team all-conference performer. Defensive team member.
You as a coach, you tell your players, make them beat us another way. And LIU is saying, okay, we'll do it another way.
It's like throwing a beach ball into the ocean. That's what it must feel like for
She comes off for a little bit of a rest as McGee goes to the free throw line.
Good in the first.
Told this story during our broadcast of LIU Stonehill back at the beginning of February. Coach Harrow was an assistant coach at JMU. Toure was there as a freshman, and she got her face banged up, injured in one of the games. So Coach Harrow went with Toure to the hospital and was with her as she was getting stitches. And actually, they got in the car and they drove to meet the team for their next game at Marshall, I believe it was. And that trip, bonding with his player in a terrible situation, having to get stitches and get fixed up, spend time with her in the hospital, and then making that drive together to their next game. That created the bond. And again, they didn't know that a couple years later, Coach Harrow would be a head coach and he'd be looking for a player and she'd be in the portal. And, you know, the rest, as they say, is history. They didn't know about that. But Coach just talking about, you know, being a human being and caring for his player, not thinking anything of it in the moment other than making sure that he was present and there for his player who was hurt. And it was that connection, it was that relationship that helped lead Khadijah to be the first piece for LIU this year, and she's been quite the piece in this turnaround. Newcomer of the year, player of the year in the NEC.
Points for Chicago State. She has the basketball right here. Shot clock and game clock, just about even.
Second half is underway in Hackensack with FDU and St. Francis. So at halftime of this game, 16 seconds away, we'll take you back to New Jersey as we continue live action here on Full Court Press. Non-stop NEC Hoops action. Look at this. And coming from behind, a block by McGee, I believe it was. Getting back on defense and swatting it away.
kill for Chicago State.
Let's see, who's the one that got back there?
I like that Keona McGee stayed with it.
Yeah, it was McGee. Getting back on defense. 2 seconds for LIU to try to increase their edge. 23 points right now. They led by as many as 24 in this game. Inbounds deflected. Time should have come off there.
I mean, you have Layla Nunez. Or is that... Nope, excuse me. This is what happens when you have twins.
They only had about 0.3 come off the clock by the time the ball deflected off the hand and landed on the out of bounds.
Twin Towers going on right now. Maybe go for a lob play. See?
Some moisture on the floor being mopped up.
All right, LIU inbounding from underneath their own basket. Oh, deflected off the fingertips of Nunez. That's Carmela Nunez, and it'll go out of bounds and take us to halftime. LIU, a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, coming up with a scoring barrage. 64 points in the first half, shooting 60% from the floor, 11 for 16 from behind the arc. They have 4 players in double figures, led by Humphrey with 17, Torre with 16, 6, and 5, and Layla Nunez with 11, Kiki Gaines with 11 as well. All right, halftime at LIU, still halftime in Staten Island. Let's get you to the second half on the banks of the Hackensack.
And she uses that left hand to make good
50 to
again.
36,
She's now got 7 points.
There's a mismatch there in that Kaylee's about 3 or 4 inches shorter than Sato, so she has the advantage. But on that play, Kaylee McDonald sees the open Rebecca Oseowusu down low, and it goes quick. We're in a fast-paced game right here, Charlie.
Was against Lemoyne in the 2024 quarterfinals.
Knights capitalizing in transition there.
Clinch a home semifinal game.
Ward slowing it down just a bit.
Sato already
catches
again. Semifinal game on Thursday
Wants to
night.
go to the basket, stops short, banks it in. Nice drive there
in FDU
from
that only allows about
student.
50 points per game.
And if it becomes a
on defense,
track meet
St.
and
Francis
a
a little
game,
ahead of
the
that
Knights
average
have much deeper bench than
against
the Red
this
Flash.
FDU
The Red
team.
Flash only have 9 players dressed for the
St.
game.
Francis only had 39
deflected
points
out of play
the last time they met
right at the 5-minute mark, and that'll take us to the break here.
And then it was
good second half so far. FDU still maintains its 14-point lead. We'll be back with the rest of the third quarter
to go,
right
third
here
quarter.
on NEC
We step
Front
aside
Row.
here on the Full Court Press. All right, we showed you earlier Mercyhurst advancing in the quarterfinals to the semifinals, 70-64 over Stonehill. Right now, their head coach Aaron Mills-Reed, along with Sophia Wilson and Jenna Van Schaik, are meeting the media. So let's take a moment to listen in while they're at a commercial break at FDU. And of course, as we listen in, they're breaking up that session there. Jenna Van Schaik, 23 points to lead the way. Sophia Wilson, 19 points, 3 big 3 balls as Mercyhurst gets their first ever NEC tournament win. All right, so timeout here. Again, live action continues as we get you back to the second half of FDU St. Francis. By the way, if you want to take a look at all of the post-game press conferences for this game and all of our games tonight, you could check those out on necfrontrow.com or on necsports.com on the tournament page. There's a real nice close-up there. Looking good there, man. Looking sharp. All right, off to our next stop.
WNITs.
Okay, back from their timeout, 5 minutes to play, third quarter. There is Stephanie Gately
across her esteemed career.
And took the Knights to their first ever NECAA tournament game last year, where they went down to
750
Where'd we go, Chuck?
career wins.
TCU.
There you go.
Fort Worth.
A lot of people were.
Texas. I couldn't remember which one.
I don't know that it was a controversial pick. It's hard to say controversial, but Neil Harrow,
Reese Downey
Aaron
will go to
Mills
the line
Reed,
and shoot too.
taking their programs from not high
we went
preseason
two-step
expectations and defying
Yeah, it was
those
fun.
expectations. A
A
lot of people were thinking those would be
hoping to
candidates
make
for
a
Coach of the
similar
Year.
trip this year.
I mean, Coach Gately, yes, she
Trying to become
inherited
back-to-back
this year a
conference champions.
championship-winning
You
team.
never
but
take those
they
experiences
lost
for
4
granted.
starters.
You don't
3
know
of them
when
due
you'll
to
get
graduate,
another one.
2 due to
Sometimes you
graduation,
think
1
you're
with
going
the
to get them in a
transfer,
couple,
and another starter is
you
still
may
on the
only get
roster,
one,
but
and that
injured
may be it.
this season. So Ava Renninger,
cherish
the
every
lone
moment
returning
and
starter,
enjoy
a bunch of
it, and
sophomores
really,
and juniors. They
something
got
to
a
be
grad
proud of.
student in late and Gerke into the mix.
Here's
It's been
Sato into the
incredible for
post.
them, but
has had
taking
good
this
fortune
young
in this
group
second half. Not that
and
time
somehow ending up better
able
than
to
last
stand
year's
her
team.
ground. FDU
I mean,
running again.
well,
I do think
Bill
it speaks to
Belichick, Andy Reid in the NFL. A lot of people don't
rareness
look
of
at
what's
them for
happening
Coach of the
right
Year
now
'cause you can make a
with this
case for them
FDU women's
every year.
basketball program. The all-time
I don't think you could say that
longest
this year about
NEC
Coach
winning
Gately. Coach
streak,
Gately,
and
again,
trying to become the
had
first
to
team to go
reload.
back-to-back undefeated and capture
Didn't
2
have anywhere
conference
near the
championships.
firepower
They're
that she did a year
one of 2
ago.
teams in the
And
country
somehow
that have
they're
gone
better.
undefeated in back-to-back seasons in
We said
conference
on
play.
our
Them and
on-the-run
UConn,
playoff
just
preview, we
unbelievable.
said on the awards
The history that
video,
continues to be made
that you
as
saw
Sato
at halftime
drives
of
to the
our
basket
Stonehill
and
Mercyhurst
blocked
game.
by
It's
LaFleur.
like
You hit on it
a
early
chef
in the game. Her
that
evolution
ran out
as
of
a defender
ingredients and
is
has
something
to
that's come a
scramble
long
to
way.
create a
Well,
brand new
and
menu and
for
somehow still
St.
ends up with a
Francis,
Michelin star.
LaFleur comes
That
in and
was
takes
the
over
job Coach
defending
Gately
Sato,
did
so
this
you
year.
have a much
Masterful
bigger presence
with,
down there. You
again,
have
her
about a
defensive
7-inch
principles.
gap
And
between
somehow their
Kaylee
defense was
McDonald
even better
height
this year.
and Akila LaFleur height, so you have a bigger presence
As
down
FDU
low.
looks to defend their throne as champions of the NEC.
LaFleur
They know that
doing it on both ends.
Given all these great accomplishments
And what she's been
FDU
able to
the last
do this
2 weeks
year
of the
is
regular
just
season, we talked about Kaylee
remarkable.
McDonald in our
And the
interview.
confidence
They
she has
were
with the ball
accomplishing
and
or
defending
clinching
now.
something like every single
She
game
used to
for
get
like
in
the last
early
2-3
foul trouble.
weeks
She's
of the
very,
year.
she's
So,
become a much
there
smarter
were
player
new-
this year in her freshman
things
campaign.
on the line thrown at
There's
them every
LaFleur,
single game, and they had
able
to
to pick up the
work
loose
and earn
ball
every
caused
single
by
one.
McDonald.
And now they know
Downey. Back to
while they're
Toomey,
3
no
games
look
away from the
pass, it's
championship,
good.
Another championship, 3 wins away.
Curtains up
The
for
other
FDU.
2
That
right now
was an
don't
impressive
exist
pass. We
because you
talked
have to
about
win in
Ava
order to get
Renninger's
another
court
game.
vision.
So as
Reese
they're gonna take
Downey
care of
has
this
that court
game
vision
first,
as
and,
well.
I mean, they jumped out.
The
to a
freshman
big
firing
lead
on all
right from
cylinders for the
beginning.
Knights.
They haven't
Sato's
given up
3
the
is no
lead.
good.
They've had their foot on the
Renninger,
gas pedal.
football pass to
Renninger,
LaFleur, to McDonald,
extra pass,
back to Downey.
Wide open look,
Off
Downey.
the side of the rim.
Oh, the roof is
Toomey
ready
with
to
the offensive
come off.
rebound. Renninger has it.
LeBeau
Slows
go.
things down for
Now
the
they're gonna
time
slow
being.
things
FDU
down.
leads by 20, their
FDU.
largest of the night. LaFleur to the cup. No good.
Out of the way.
Can FDU get another chance? They
Only
do.
7
The
for
BOGO
23
Center is
from
waiting
behind the
to
arc.
erupt. You feel it.
15 on the shot clock. McDonald pump fakes to the basket and is fouled going up.
9 FDU players.
So FDU does not
have
cash
gotten
in
this game.
with a field goal, but will
8
get
of
2
them
free
have scored
throws.
points. Joy Johnson, the only Knight yet to
An
get into
offering
the
for their
scoring column.
persistence on that possession.
So McDonald's gonna
FDU
go
now
to
winning
free
the
throw
rebounding
line.
battle 33-17.
And she is 81% on
Again,
the season,
almost
a
doubling
second
them
team
up.
all-conference
Their
performer,
rebounding
an
margin is
all-defensive
one of
team
their
performer.
strengths. They're plus
Yeah, she was a
8
player last year
plus
with that veteran
in
group.
rebounding
Her role was the
differential.
Energizer Bunny, coming off the bench, spark on defense.
McDonald
be a
makes
pest
the
on
first free
defense where she
throw.
was
11
really good.
points. 3
Knocked
Knights
down
in double
3
figures
here or
tonight.
there.
Renninger has
This year
14.
she's been
McDonald
thrust
with
into one of
11
the
and
lead
Downey
roles.
with 10.
And she
Give
has
McDonald
thrived. You mentioned
a
approaching
dozen.
100 free balls.
FDU
on
has
the
opened up
season.
their largest
Rarefied
lead of the
air
night just like
in
that.
NEC women's hoops.
It's an 8-0 run. Three-pointer, no good.
49 all-time playoff wins, 19-8 all-time in the quarterfinals.
2-minute mark in this third quarter.
Won
The Knights have outscored the Red Flash 18-10. Downey, finger
Let me say that
roll,
again.
no good.
There's only 3
Crosby
playoff games in a
rebounds,
year.
foul
So
whistled.
they won
I believe
29
that'll send
straight
Crosby
playoff
to the
games.
line for two.
From 1995 to 2009, before
St.
that streak was
Francis has
finally
5
ended in
team
the
fouls for the
championship
quarter.
game against the Sacred
will be
Heart
the
team
bonus.
that went undefeated. Only once in the history of the NEC tournament has an 8 seed
what makes it so
knocked
tough
off
is
a number
the
1
Knights are
seed, and
such
Coach
a
Gately
great
was involved in
defensive
that.
team.
Her top-seeded
To come
LIU
back from
Sharks
any
or
point
Blackbirds
differential,
at the time were
it's a challenging
knocked
thing
off
for
by
any
number
team.
8 St. Francis Brooklyn in the 2007
FDU starting to feel it
NEC
from the free
tournament.
throw line as well. They're now 8 of 11.
For St. Francis, 5th time that they've
Made
ended
their
the
last
regular
4
season
attempts.
and started the postseason against
5 for 5.
the very
And you
same
didn't
team.
jinx
The
her.
last
Very
team,
good.
Don't
last
believe
time
in
they
it.
did it was against Sacred Heart in
Can't be
2024.
true if you
By
don't
the way,
believe in it.
speaking about St. Francis and Sacred Heart, it was
As Aaliyah
12
James will bring
years
things up.
ago today, on the day that St. Francis beat Sacred Heart 132 to 124 in double overtime in the NEC tournament in the 2014
15 on the shot clock for the Red Flash.
Allie Williams had 47 points. Gabby Washington had 47 points. Alexa Hayward only
10-0
had 42.
Knights run. Red Flash trying
One of
to
the
stop the
classic
bleeding.
games all time in the history of this tournament.
Thornhill puts it on the deck.
After tonight,
floats it up.
I don't know
It's
how much
short.
more we're going to be
Loose
talking
ball.
about St. Francis
Gerke
and
comes
Sacred
up with
Heart,
it.
but
Renninger
it was 12 years
across
ago
the
today
way.
on this
Downey
day.
stops,
All-time
pulls it back.
classic double overtime.
Downey
in
pulls
the
up,
NEC
no
tournament.
good.
Both teams
Crosby,
over
another
120
offensive rebound.
points.
Their 12th offensive rebound of the night.
You heard the 12 offensive rebounds. They're dominating the board.
Second chances coming in bunches.
Overall.
Owusu to Crosby from the free throw line, no good. And Downey commits the foul. No trouble though for FDU, just their first of the quarter. Just under a minute to play here.
And a much cleaner quarter. Obviously, they had some
12 second chance points.
Not trouble,
for
but they were fouling
FDU
a lot in that second period.
the
They cleaned it up, moved their
offensive
feet
rebounds.
a little better, got back
Final
on
minute of
defense,
the third quarter.
and extended their lead to 24 now.
FDU looking to advance to the semifinals for what would be a seventh
Jumper no
straight
good.
season.
Downey
They advanced
collects
in
the
2020,
rebound.
but
Dishes
didn't
it
play
to
the
Renninger.
semifinals due to the pandemic.
Crosby puts
21,
it on the
22,
floor, left
23,
hand, no
24,
good.
25, and now
Tries
26.
to swat it back, but deflects it out of bounds.
She usually makes those. She's a little frustrated, but good pressure by
First
St.
time
Francis.
ever FDU has been in the semifinals.
And the Knights are going to put
6
it's the
straight
Knights'
years.
ball.
They're looking to extend that to
Officials
7.
split the call.
They could be about 10 minutes, 28 seconds away.
20 on the shot clock. About an 8-second differential. Renninger in the corner, guarded by Asafa. She leads the team
Got
with
a
14.
7-second differential in the 2 clock, so FDU still needs a shot here.
Doesn't
Renninger
herself,
driving
gets
in, the
fouled in
general
the
drawing
process.
the foul.
Then we'll go to the
gets
line to
herself
shoot
to the
2.
free throw line.
Her first free throw attempts of the
kind
night.
of dipped once conference play started. She was averaging almost 15 points per game at the end of non-conference play, but once conference play started,
Looking
she
around the
became more
NEC,
of a general,
Mercyhurst
a
has
facilitator.
advanced to the
We saw
semifinal,
Gerke
a 70-64
go up,
victory
McDonald's scoring
over
go up, and
Stonehill in their
McDonald's,
quarterfinal, as that one is good.
Renninger
Lemoyne, the
scoring
5-seed,
went
leading
down. So it was a
Wagner,
little
the
bit of a
4-seed,
give and take.
36-43.
Renninger went from 15 points per game to only
36-33
averaging
with
about 10
4.5
points
minutes
per
left
game
in the third.
in conference play.
As
So there was
Renninger
a
goes 2 for 2 in
5-point
Long Island.
swing
Or
in her
LIU
scoring
has
once
taken
conference play
control
started, which was
against
pretty
Chicago
significant.
State, leading by
But
23
her getting
at
teammates
halftime.
involved and upping their scoring. Plus,
As
FDU
James
with their
gets that one to
defense
go,
stopping other
FDU
teams
turns it
from scoring.
over. Asafa knocks it in, 4 quick points.
Didn't really
make this a
make that much of a
22-point
difference.
game heading into
So
the
bucket
fourth
by
quarter,
Ella
but
James, the
FDU
steal,
takes
and then
control.
another bucket.
They
A
outscore the Red Flash by
4-point swing
10.
there gets
And it's a
FDU over
64-42 lead
points.
heading to
Their
the fourth.
best
We'll be
offensive
back
output
on
against the
NEC
Knights.
Front Row.
So far this year, they still trail by 22. 64-42, fourth quarter coming up in this NEC tournament quarterfinal.
A 1-point game, get yourself the lead and keep holding on to that.
Okay, been a while since we looked in on this one. They were in halftime. First chance to look at this one here in the second half. Lemoyne on the road has come out with a 36-33 advantage again.
KK for the tray to tie it.
Oh, that ties it. Casey now 6 points, 2 threes.
And the steal.
Largest lead for
Casey
Lemoyne, 5
dropped it off
points.
for
Largest
Landy,
lead for
couldn't
Wagner,
handle it.
7 points.
And
It's
we've
been
got
nip and
another
tuck
scrum
pretty
on the
much
floor. The
this
alternate possession
entire
arrow
ball game.
Pointed the Seahawks way.
Look,
Possession arrow will give it to the Seahawks.
Every shot that they can make, they are doing a great job immediately getting that defense set up. And they've almost caused 3 or 4 of those turnovers.
Wagner, a team that was picked 7th in the preseason poll, a chance to, well, they finished as the 4 seed, a chance to get into the semifinals for the first time since 2021.
Well, let's hope we don't have to. I don't want to dwell.
Lemoyne looking to get to the semifinals for a 3rd straight year.
It's rebounded by
We said this on our preview show. Lemoyne has been to the semifinals over the last 20 years more times than Wagner has, and Lemoyne is only in their 3rd season in the NEC.
In the corner, Clark with a step
back three, and there's Caden Clark, the younger of the 2 sisters.
Sister Eli.
3rd set of sisters in Lemoyne program history, first since 1980, 1981. One of the things we were looking at in this game was the turnover department. Lemoyne turnover prone. They've been working on that touch the dolphin thing in practice, where if they turn over, they have to run up the bleachers and touch the dolphin to try and avoid turnovers. Wagner is the #1 team in steals in the NEC. They average about 20 per game.
Possession arrow goes that way.
They thrive on turning teams over, and so far, Lemoyne has turned the ball over 11 times in this game.
Wagner's been outscored in this 3rd quarter, 14.
It's led to only 7 points off turnovers, though.
2 of 3 from downtown, 2 for 2 at the stripe. Seahawks 3 of 13 overall.
Lemoyne winners of 6 of their last 8.
2 for 4 at the line. Wangalo across, guarded by Foz, headed off at the pass.
Lemoyne in their 3rd year of reclassification, not eligible for the NCAA tournament.
3 in and out. The rebound, battled for,
but still eligible here in the NEC tournament. They made it to the championship game 2 years ago.
And again, the Seahawks
and by the way, they could complete their reclassification in 3 years at the end of this season, so potentially they could be eligible for the NCAAs next year. New Haven would love that, because that would make New Haven eligible for next year's tournament.
4 live with 2:05 left in the quarter.
Fernandez with 11 points. Fernandez de Calais leads the way for Wagner.
3 fouls. Doy is on the bench with 3.
Clark with 13 points. Eli Clark, we mentioned her great playoff game last year as Lemoyne went on the road and upset St. Francis. She leads the way for Lemoyne here tonight with 13. Her sister, Caden, has 9.
Wangalo into Linnet.
So together, the 2 Clark sisters have 22 points, shades of their days playing together on the same team in high school
10 to shoot
at Ocean Township, where they were playing for championships.
For Caden Clark, who spins it in off the window.
Leading Clark right to the basket. That was Baragas with the dish. Baragas is scoreless. No points, but 7 rebounds and now 3 assists.
IFC inside for Hawa.
Wagner has done a good job now in all 3 games this season playing Lemoyne in really shutting down and limiting Baragas.
Traffic now pulls it back. Coming up on 80 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Sydney Postel returns for Lemoyne next whistle. This is Dincher.
Baragas' second best field goal percentage in the NEC. Again, 0 for 3 here tonight.
For her second. That's just the 2nd team foul in the quarter. Postel in, Dincher out.
These 2 teams split their first 2 meetings. We mentioned each winning at home. Wagner won the first meeting 59-45 here at the Spiro Sports Center, but that was a part of the season where Lemoyne was 3-7. Wagner were dealing with all sorts of injuries, especially from their guards. Wagner was in the middle of a 4-game run, which was one of the bright spots of their season, including a win over LIU, one of their signature victories. So it was at a time where Lemoyne was playing their worst, Wagner was playing their best. Their paths crossed, and Wagner had the big win. They met again 2 weeks later in Syracuse when Lemoyne won at home 62-49. This the first ever NEC tournament meeting between these 2 schools. And we got about a minute to go here in the third.
It's been a low foul quarter, which has just 60.
Glad you could be along with us here on the NEC Full Court Press. We're live on YouTube, on X, on Twitch, bringing you whip-around coverage of all of our quarterfinals. One quarterfinal already in the books. Mercyhurst beating Stonehill 70-64 earlier tonight. Mercyhurst has a home game in the semifinals on Thursday. 3 more spots in the semifinals about to be claimed here in the next 20 minutes or so, as our field of 8 about to be cut to 4.
5 to 7 points is the limit that either one of these teams could get to.
Baragas one-on-one with Hawa, a block, and they call the foul on Bald Kamara.
Baragas going up against these bigs of LIU. That's one of the fun things to watch in this one. Hawa Balda Kamara, the senior from Spain, one of the top shot blockers in the NEC, third in the league with 29 blocks this year. We know about Doi, second team all-conference performer from Nigeria, third in the league in rebound. We got some trees for this Wagner team.
Malia Mapondo will check in with 21.
Balda Kamara, the 6'4" senior. Doi, 6'3".
Picking up her second foul.
Mpondo, 6'2".
0 for 2.
Coach Coburn saying, that's why we brought him. You can't teach 6'4". They had that size coming with them. That's why we wanted to bring him in, and they play physical.
3-possession game. Wagner can hold for the final shot of the third.
Lemoyne increases their advantage to 43-36. Their largest lead of the game, a steal. Lemoyne comes up with it, a chance to increase their advantage here in the final 10 seconds.
Take as much as a 10-point lead into the fourth quarter with a 3 here. Lennon
lets it fly short, grazes front iron. And again, this game has been played now on a 7-point swing, both sides. 7-point lead for Lemoyne, 7-point lead for Wagner, the largest of the game. The Dolphins looking for a third straight year with a quarterfinal playoff win, lead by 7 on the road in Staten Island. We continue our whip-around coverage here on the Full Court Press. Okay, our other 2 quarterfinals going on right now are a little bit more in hand. Now, you see 72-45, the score, LIU leading Chicago State, and you see 6 minutes to go third quarter. You're like, oh no, the scoreboard can't be right. It's probably just the fourth quarter. No, it's the third quarter. The LIU Sharks scored 64 points in the first half, and they already have 8 points here in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. They have been a machine, and this is a team playing shorthanded without their second leading scorer and one of the top 10 scorers in the NEC, a first-team all-conference performer in Janessa Williams. Coach Harrow has to be thinking right now, this is great. Let's keep our foot on the gas pedal and figure out a way to keep this going for another at least 48 hours till we get to Thursday. Let's save some points for Thursday night at this point.
Yes, it is.
Here comes Urlacher. Hill dashes the lane and puts in the floater.
Little floater, that goes.
Good job, Chicago State. Tell yourself that. Build on this.
Hill, 6 points.
Starts one play at a time. Never. There's no magical 1 point.
You need a 23-point shot.
Triple team.
Doesn't exist.
And when you have 3 players guarding Torre, that leaves a sharpshooter like Hannah Humphrey wide open for the 3 ball. Humphrey, 5 for 5 from behind the arc. 22 points. And it's 75-49.
Beyond that today.
We have a few season highs today. We call that a career fair. Yeah?
I love that. 3.
4 Sharks in double figures. Led by Humphrey, a perfect 7 for 7 from the field, 5 for 5 from behind the arc. She thought about it there.
Definitely thought about it. I don't think anybody would have mad at a heat check either.
Torre, just in front of the elbow, puts up the jumper. She can knock that down, but not that time.
Urlacher kicks. Hill open.
You shoot the first one on that one for sure, and I definitely saw Corey Irvin just look at her like just a little bit of a shrug and a disappointment in that shot. You take the first one, that's a better shot. You have a catch and shoot in rhythm instead of a step back three.
Chicago State, 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. LIU, 12.
Well, Chicago State 1 for 9 from behind the arc. Hard to compete with a team that's 12 for 18. As the Sharks turn it over, leading to an uncontested layup on the other end. 75-51, under 4 minutes to go. Let's get you out to the Hackensack. Go to Savings Bank Center, check in on the number 1 seed in action.
Broadcast booth.
All right, just back from a commercial break out
FDU
in
complete
Hackensack.
control.
FDU with a 73-52
poised to win their 38th
over
straight
the Red Flash with
conference game, the second longest conference streak in the country, only behind
Red Flash, a team with
it's an incredible
49 tournament wins, but
been
most
at
in
FDU
history,
for
but they've been stuck on
years. I've seen
since
us go
2019.
through seasons where we were lucky
they
to
lost
win
the
7
2019
games.
championship game as the reigning
and to
champions
have
to Robert Morris, and they have not won a tournament game
I don't
since.
think that's a word, but the energy
a renaissance,
that comes,
a renaissance.
a renaissance that started with Ange Zamillo, who is
seven straight playoff
Steph
losses,
Gately's top
an
assistant at
8-year
Fordham, came over here
championship
and really
drought for a team that
started
won 12
a rejuvenation
tournament titles.
and an over-the-back call
Eight-year
right there.
drought is their longest
Ava could
drought
not jump
since their
backwards and
run
forwards in
started
the
30
same
years ago
motion.
in March of 1996, winning their
but then
first
when
title by
Ange
finally
left and went to
overcoming
Iona,
Mount St. Mary's.
you know, we hired Coach Gately.
Stacey
and
Alexander,
watching her
Mary
is
Markey,
like watching
winning that first title. Then
a
Jessa
5-star
Noble
Michelin
showed up.
chef work a dish.
Forget about it if you were one of the other teams
It's been an absolute
in the NEC
pleasure
at that time.
Setting milestone and records.
They missed the playoffs in 2001 after Jessa Noble graduated. That was the year that we mentioned 25 years ago that LIU won their championship.
They're about each other. They're
Swing
for
showed
each
up,
other. They support
NEC Hall of
other
Famer in
student
her own right, and
athletes. They do
St. Francis
everything
won 4
right.
more
and they're
championships,
excellent
including
students as well.
an undefeated season in
really
2004.
An easy team to get behind and root for and cheer on.
Such great history and tradition with St. Francis.
Downey
could be
shot
coming
clock
to an
running
end,
down.
though.
This time she kicks to Renninger. Renninger, reverse
Renninger,
layup.
what a reverse.
Contested. Doesn't
Back
matter.
to the basket along the baseline.
Here comes the general.
Up, absolutely right down the baseline. Able to flick it up and get it to go. Lemoyne leading now. Wagner by 9 midway through the fourth quarter.
22 points. She has
After
19
watching that one
here on the
closely
night
as Lemoyne with LIU
6
winning
rebounds and 5 assists.
LIU and Mercier's winning will be the winner of that game. Downey, a triple off the iron.
Downey was open, but not that time.
St. Francis pushing ahead, goes too fast.
It was too early in the shot clock for Downey. There were double digits on the shot clock. She likes it when it's under 5.
FDU averages
has been the trend tonight. FDU clears out their bench a little bit. Talia Baptiste, Jada Elston, Tyler Edwards, and Joy Johnson are into the contest.
Ahead of that pace. They're allowing
FDU will celebrate another playoff victory in
Hackensack.
Hackensack.
One of the top 3 team defenses scoring-wise in the entire country.
It'll be their 5th consecutive win on home floor in the playoffs. Dating back to 2023. LaFleur is able to lay it in after shaking off her defender. How about this stat line for Akila LaFleur? 8 points, 4 of 5 shooting, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 1 assist.
Younger players involved in the game.
A veteran-like effort.
I take that
tonight, 2
off
for
the bench.
11 shooting,
Off the bench.
5 rebounds. The defensive player of the year, Leah Crosby, an all-rookie performer, 6 points, 7
She has
rebounds.
set the pace for FDU's
Rebecca
bigs in scoring.
Osei-Owusu
As Baptiste is
Really
fouled.
underrated.
She also came in, was able to stop Sato when she was scoring at will. She came in and she created a different presence there. And I don't think that shows up. She has a couple of blocks on that, but it doesn't always show up there either.
Downey,
So.
the freshman, in her first NEC tournament game, 13 points with 3 rebounds and an assist. Johnson, LaFleur,
Baptiste.
Elston, Edwards, and Baptiste
To the floor.
on the floor now for FDU here for the final minute.
They throw to Johnson in the post. She's looking for Elston. It's deflected. LaFleur throws to Johnson. Johnson pump fakes. Second one is good.
And at the beginning of the year, LaFleur would have taken that and tried to power up. She saw Joy Johnson talk about that court vision there as the Knights reached down and tap the ball out of bounds as the Red Flash will have to inbound under their own basket with under a minute left in the game.
The Knights get a nice ovation from their home crowd as well.
UCLA and UConn would have longer active win streaks than FDU right now. They're 55
Sato's
seconds
shot
away,
is blocked by LaFleur. 3 blocks for the freshman. A playoff debut to remember
8 rebounds
for number
as well.
2.
She not only blocked it, but came
20
up with
on
a
the
loose
shot
ball.
clock. 40 seconds left in the game.
FDU, the number 1 seed, they're going to have a home
Baptiste
game. Mercy
to Elston.
the number 2 seed.
Elston's
They're gonna
layup
have
is
a home
good.
game.
Everybody getting in on the
Now
action.
we just have to determine who their opponents
The
are
starters
gonna
and
be.
regulars loving it on the bench.
St. Francis. 12-time
FDU
NEC
has eclipsed
champions,
80 points. They lead
49
81 to
all-time playoff wins,
56.
400 wins
A convincing
in the regular
victory,
season in conference play.
well in hand.
Hall of Famers, players of
LaFleur
the year,
blocked it again.
all-time greats.
Picked up the rebound. And
An incredible
FDU will
run of
just dribble it
9
out.
championships in 10 years, which started 30 years ago. But right now, the present-day dynasty,
Precious
the
seconds
FDU
tick
Knights,
down.
are going
An
to knock out
81-56 victory for the Knights.
For a
They have a jump ball with 0.6 seconds
once
left.
they inbound off this.
And the Knights will move on to the quarterfinals, hosting a game here in the Bogo Center at 7 p.m. on Thursday evening. As the last second heat does not go for the Red Flags.
In the semifinals,
Ava Reninger led the way with 19 points. Kaylee McDonald, 15. Reese Downey's 13. Akila LaFleur with 8 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks. The Knights have won their 38th NEC game in a
All right, so we're down to our final 2 quarterfinals that are playing right now here on the Full Court Press. We're going to go back and forth between both games as we have to right now find out who Mercyhurst and FDU's opponents are going to be on Thursday night in the semifinals. Lemoyne leads Wagner 47-40 as we approach 5 minutes to go. This game is in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard says 3rd quarter, but they are in the 4th quarter in this one.
Matthews, midway through the
Eli
shot
Clark
clock.
once again having a sensational playoff performance, just like she did in last year's quarterfinals against SFU when Lemoyne was the 5 seed and upset the 4. That was
who's going to
blocked.
grab the rebound? Doyle
Wagner
battling
again
for it.
has
It
the
comes to
size
Priscilla
advantage. The
Varela.
ball squirts out,
One-on-one
starting a transition
against-
opportunity the other way.
Caden Clark
What was a little indecisive right there. It does go out of bounds off Lemoyne, giving Wagner a second chance, but a little indecisive there on the transition opportunity.
Knocked the ball off of one of the Clark sisters, I believe, with Caden, who got it back at that point, and lost the ball out of bounds.
Lennon and Baragas return. Postel and Matthews take
We're going to get a media timeout coming here. The next whistle after we cross over 5 minutes. Once that happens, we will send you back to the LIU game that right now is just starting the 4th quarter. LIU with 84 points on the scoreboard. We will see if they can cross over the century mark.
That's going to be free throws.
10 more minutes of regulation to do it.
They call it on McLeod. That's her
If that score holds, LIU would head to Mercyhurst. A battle of the two 14-4 teams. Mercyhurst gets to host that semifinal via the tiebreakers, and then the winner of this game would go to LIU. The only wrinkle would be if somehow Chicago State could come back. They would then head to FDU, and the winner of this game would then go to Mercyhurst.
around if you're Wagner.
But if LIU wins, they go to Erie, Pennsylvania, and the winner of this game goes to New Jersey.
Irene makes them both. She's got a team-high 14 points. Here's the Wagner backcourt pressure. The steal.
Oh, what a steal off the inbounds, and Foz lays it in. That is the Wagner defense. Making it tough again for Lemoyne. They do get it across the timeline, but not without a couple of beads of sweat coming on their brow.
Crowd coming to life here inside the Spiro Center on Grimes Hill. Midway through
here in the fourth quarter, Lemoyne shooting 2 for 7, Wagner 3 for 7, but a big bucket off the steal.
Eli Clark,
step back 3 for Clark,
and
no good.
Doy's got the rebound. Wagner can tie it up with a 3.
Doy with 7 points, 4 rebounds.
Here's KJ.
Second team all-conference performer, that cog, that key right in the middle of this Wagner team.
For the Dolphins. Foz had it knocked away, recovers,
Foz
puts
coming
it up,
through,
and
recovers
airball.
a little too, way too strong.
Linen with the rebound.
Yeah, the disruption really.
As we come up on 4 minutes to play in the fourth.
But again, 3-point ball game. Just need to stop, that's all.
KK with 3 fouls, ready to check back in. Here's Baragas driving on the baseline against Doy, who alters the shot.
Too strong. Wagner forces the miss.
McLeod down behind the play. Wagner's got a
Lemoyne's
power play.
shooting percentage here in the fourth quarter not getting any better. Yeah, that's going to be a traveling violation.
That was a Euro 3-step.
Yeah, Euro couple steps right there. So timeout, media timeout, 3:44 to play fourth quarter. We'll get you back here. A 3-point game to most likely see who's going to FDU. Let's get you back to the start of the fourth quarter with LIU and Chicago State. 84-62 opening minute. Oh, a pure block right there as Chicago State was driving to the basket. Tie up, possession arrow will keep it with Chicago State. Urlacher thought that there was a foul there, but Chicago State's going to get... Yeah, she thought there was a foul, but Chicago State will get possession. They will inbound from underneath their own basket.
Got to be some twin love, showing each other love and dedication to each other with the 44 and 4.
How cool must that be to play with your twin?
Oh, I can't imagine. They've probably been playing with each other their whole lives.
Yeah. So
to continue that into your college career, it's got to be fun.
LIU with 13 threes in this game. Humphrey, by the way, in case you're wondering, she's not on the floor right now, but she still hasn't missed. A perfect 8 for 8 from the field, 6 for 6 from behind the arc, 25 points. Her previous career was 15, so she passed that by 10 points.
There's Carmella. Played in 2 FIBA.
LIU's led by as many as 27 in this game. 32 points in the first quarter, 32 points in the second quarter, 20 points in the third quarter. LIU yet to score here in the... They're slipping. They've yet to score here in the fourth quarter, a minute, 10 seconds in.
Look, we've seen some crazy things amongst a game in March. And a 22-point lead, now a 19-point lead, is never secure unless it's a minute left on the clock.
Right.
Unless it's a minute left on the clock. It is never secure. Chicago State, I hope you can somehow feel this message. It's still in reach. It's still within reach.
Let's see if this team can continue to chip away. It was at one point a 27-point game. It's now down to 19. McGee weaving, denied. The follow doesn't go. Allen sticks with it. Kick out, Cisco. And a loose ball foul keeps it right here. Second team foul against LIU.
And that's how it starts. It's literally the little things. Who cares if you miss a shot? What are you going to do with the rebound? And right there, Urlacher chases after it, gets a foul. That's what happens when you don't stop playing.
And Humphrey.
Chicago State right now on an 8-0 run. LIU again hasn't scored here in this fourth quarter. Behind the back, getting fouled, just throwing it up, and it goes in. Here come the Cougars. Buckle up. I know that's New Haven's phrase, but buckle up. Cougars are making their charge.
Allen, the Chicago native,
Allen, the senior, at the charity stripe. That rims out. So can't complete the three-point play. It's a 10-0 run right now for Chicago State. They have a 7-0 run here in the fourth quarter, and then the final points back of the third. Torre still in the game, attacking the basket, coming up empty.
This was a 27-point lead for...
Now here come the Cougars again. Again, they're on a 10-0 run. Allen inside. No.
Offensive rebound.
Mount. Back to Allen. She hits the jumper from 14 feet away. It's a 12-0 run. It was a 27-point lead.
12-0 run.
Well, now it's down to 15. 7:26 to play, fourth quarter. Perhaps getting interesting in Brooklyn. All right, we are back in Staten Island. Elsewhere, another borough in New York. 3:14 to go. It's a three-point game. This has been the closest game of the night, as you would expect for a 4-5 matchup. Most likely the winner of this is going to FDU, as long as that LIU lead holds.
But it's not a 30-second violation because there's 1 second on the clock.
So before we jumped in here, there was a whistle. The officials went to a monitor, and right now they're trying to figure out possession, and they're discussing it with both head coaches.
There was no tie-up. So, okay, you want to say inadvertent whistle?
Our announcers are very animated about this.
But that's ridiculous, and you can't have that in a playoff game.
Well, now there's a real chance to react to this. It's just 1 second. You got to play this
1 second on the shot clock. Lemoyne inbounding.
On the inbound.
Catch and shoot.
Clark puts it up
off the glass.
Good Doy with a huge
and
rebound.
Doy with the rebound, and she's fouled. And she's fouled.
Number 5 on Baragas. Her night is done.
With 5 fouls, fouls out with 3:09 to go. Baragas struggled tonight. Second in the league in field goal percentage, 0 for 5. 2 points, but 10 rebounds and 3 assists. So Lemoyne is going to have to finish this next 3:09, get to the finish line without their go-to. They get the ball to Baragas every single time down the floor. They're going to have to come with a plan B here in this final 3:09. Wagner going to the free throw line to try and creep closer.
On the night.
Doy, a 59% free throw shooter.
As a team.
Comes up empty on the first. Wagner's free throw shooting has been their Achilles heel. 10th in the league, 64%. They nearly let New Haven have a miraculous comeback with all missed free throws in the fourth quarter back at the end of the regular season, towards the end of the regular season.
You got to feed her.
Wagner from the free throw line tonight, only 6 for 18. 1/3 of their free throws they have converted.
Lennon for Postel. Eli Clark, midway through the shot clock, guarded by Foz. Wangalo, loosely guarded by Landy with under 10 to shoot. Wangalo for Matthews. And a foul off the ball.
And we have a whistle. That's going to be a foul on Wagner.
No, it's on Landy.
Landy, that's her third.
That's Liv's third.
If it was on Doy, that would have been her fourth.
And it
so no free throws yet. 2:43 to go. Lemoyne leads by 2.
Wangalo. And IFC knocked it out of bounds.
No time off the clock.
Another inbound for Wangalo to Matthews. Doy with a heavy pressure. Eli Clark guarded by her opposite number, Liv Landy. 10 to shoot. Wangalo.
10 on the shot clock. Wangalo in between the circle.
On the move.
Gets
Matthews, top of the key.
Long jumper from about 16 feet. No good.
That's her 6th.
And now Wagner with a chance to tie or take the lead.
Coming up on 2:15 to go.
Wagner hasn't led since 6:46 to play in the third quarter. 33-31. Doy blocked. Rebound. Lennon having to try to wrestle it away from Wagner. We got a wrestling match down there underneath the basket.
question.
Officials waiting as long as they could before calling the timeout.
There's no foul. Timeout, TC. You're right. He needs a timeout.
So after all that, we got a timeout with 2:03 to go.
A game of this magnitude deserves so much better officiating. And I hate to kill the zebras. I love zebras.
They're doing a lot of that. We'll step aside while they kill the zebras, and we'll take a look at our other game going on right now in Brooklyn. Well, if you like offense, this has been the game of the night. 90 points on the board for LIU. Approaching halfway through the fourth quarter. The drama here is, can LIU get to 100? And then will they have enough points saved up for a semifinal on the road on Thursday night? Most likely going all the way to Mercyhurst. And for Humphrey, 25 points, 8 for 8, 6 for 6 from behind the arc. Gaines with 23 points.
One shot. Couldn't believe it. But for Chicago State, the last 3 possessions, nobody is rebounding.
And the 23 points, that's a season high for Gaines. Torre, 22 and 14. She has her 14th double-double of the season. 3 20-point scores for LIU here tonight.
Most amount of shots you've made in a game without missing, if you remember. We'll let you think about it. We'll give the answer.
I could tell you the amount of shots that I made in a row without missing. 1. That's it. in 40 years. And then after that, yeah, I've usually missed the second one and a lot more the rest of the game. All right, let's go back. Let's go back atop Grimes Hill.
Score.
Okay, 47-45, approaching 100 seconds to go.
Really is big.
Back in for
Lemoyne
KK.
playing without Baragas, who's fouled out from this game.
Screen on Matthews. Maybe a travel on Clark. 10 to shoot. Eli Clark gets it to Matthews.
Doy playing with 4
playing with
fouls.
4 fouls and disrupts the shot anyway. 85 seconds
Still
left.
a major
Seahawks
factor,
ball down
even
2.
with 4 fouls, redirecting the shot. Wagner, another opportunity here to tie or take the
had an
lead.
open 3 inside
They
for
go to
Doy.
the post and a
on
foul
Praise
from behind.
Matthews. It'll be her second, and with the Seahawks in the bonus,
Yeah, Matthews, that's
Doy
her
back
second
to the line, Mr. Martell,
foul, so Doy
tie it
going
up.
to the
I
stripe
know they
again.
struggled. I know it, but you got to feed Doy for the rest of this minute and 13. She is your breadwinner right now. She's going to be in position to
8
make
points,
shots.
7 rebounds for Doy. Missed the first. Again, Wagner missing the free throws.
That's really what you're going to talk about at the end of this game. No matter what
13
happens.
missed free throws. In a game in which you're down by 2, you gave away 13 free points that could have, should have been on the scoreboard. She makes the second. It's a 1-point game. 47-46. Caden Clark in. She has 9. She's the second leading scorer for Lemoyne behind her sister.
Postel brings it across. 3
Postel
on 2.
brings it across the
and slows
timeline.
it down.
Approaching 1 minute to go.
Langelo
Fourth
on
quarter.
the logo.
Who will advance and go to the
Minute to
semifinals?
go. Lennon for Caden Clark. Postel
Some space there.
holding with 10. Caden Clark on the
Clark
drive with
the
7.
penetrate, gets it into the corner.
Lennon
Wide
Postel.
open look. Postel drains it for
as
3.
The shot clock was winding down. And
Sydney
timeout
Postel,
called
the
with
junior,
44.2.
who played for
a
Lemoyne
two-possession
a couple
lead
minutes in
on
the
a
championship
huge
game 2 years
three-ball.
ago, with perhaps
They
the
have
shot
done
of
a
the game.
fantastic job all season.
9 points, her first 3. She also
Running
has
the
9
shot clock
rebounds
down
and 3
getting the
steals.
shots. They'd missed a bunch
Absolute
Here's the
clutch.
case where they hit it, and that is what's going to cost Wagner in the long run. But again,
In their
45
regular
seconds to
season
go,
finale,
you need a
Postel only
quick
had
bucket and get
3
yourself back
points,
on
only
defense.
played
It's
10
all you
minutes.
need right now.
Here tonight,
Postel,
in crunch time, especially with
34%
Baragas fouled
from
out,
beyond the arc this
Postel with
season.
9
That was her
points,
first
9 rebounds.
try
She's
on
played
the
30
night.
minutes, and perhaps the shot that sends Lemoyne to the semifinals for a third straight year.
Eli Clark, a game-high 15 points. Ashley Baragas, the second-team All-NEC player, fouled out.
LIU leads Chicago State 94-75, under 3 minutes to go. Again, we're looking to see if LIU can finish the night by reaching the century mark. We'll get you there once this game is finished.
20 to shoot, 35 on the game clock.
KJ Foz, who's been their top offensive player down the stretch of the season, nearly thrown away. They did.
Out of the pack with the ball. Wagner's
taken away by Lemoyne.
Her third with
Wagner has to foul. Shot clock turned off. And now if Lemoyne makes their free throws, which, by the way, Lemoyne is one of the top free throw shooting teams in the entire country. They're not up there in the nationally rankings because they still haven't fully completed their process into Division I. But if they would be top 15 in the nation in free throw percentage. They lead the league 79%. Wangalo makes her first free throw. She's an 80% free throw shooter.
For the Seahawks, they are 7 of 20. At the charity stripe.
13 missed free throws for Wagner, while meanwhile Lemoyne 13 for 16. So Wagner lost 13 points at the free throw line. Lemoyne gained 13 points at the free throw line. It's still a two-possession game, 52-46. Wagner is going to need to go quickly and make some threes.
Like they said in history,
they've made 5 of them tonight. 5 for 13 from behind the arc.
A miracle.
Clea Casey, perhaps their top three-point shooter at 29%.
And we hope the horse isn't stuck in traffic on the Staten Island Expressway.
She is their top three-point shooter at 29%. This is a team that's only 9th in the league out of 10 teams in three-point shooting. So Wagner in a position that's not quite favorable to them right now. Wagner in danger of being the only higher seed to get upset here in the quarterfinals. They do get it to Casey. Comes up empty. Rebound's going to go out of bounds to Lemoyne with 16 seconds to go.
Keep it right here. And I don't know how Mr. Martell...
And that could just about do it. If Wagner doesn't get a steal on the inbounds, which isn't a given because Wagner leads the league in steals, if Wagner doesn't get a steal on the inbounds, they're going to have to foul. Lemoyne doesn't miss their free throws. Free throws would make it a three-possession game, and that would pretty much be all she wrote. Lemoyne getting ready to perhaps win their 7th game in their last 9 since a 3-7 start to conference play. Once they finally got healthy, they got rolling. They won 5 in a row before losing to FDU, which everybody's lost to FDU. Finished the year winning 6 of 8, about to win a playoff game perhaps to win 7 out of 9 and get to the semifinals at least 3 straight years in the NEC tournament.
Dolphins inbound with
so off
17.
the timeout, Dolphins inbound.
I don't know what they're waiting for.
They opted not to foul Lennon. Now Clark, now back to Lennon. Dolphins playing keep away as Wagner desperately tries to foul, and finally
why his team didn't foul sooner.
They get the foul.
And frankly, I
it's
can't
on
argue
Lennon.
with them. What are they doing? The season's going to end with a head-scratching
5.2 seconds remaining.
As Lennon goes to the line, she's
Lennon, a 1,000-point score, the senior, makes the first. We saw her family for our ESPN Plus game that we did back at the end of February. It was senior day
with a third
at Lemoyne. Her family was there, all wearing nice dress shirts with the number 4 on the pocket. No doubt supporting her in her senior year.
And it'll set up a very interesting game.
Sierra Lennon has had at least 60 threes
an FDU alum.
In all 4 years of her career. One of the top three-point shooters in the history of the Lemoyne program.
Is sitting back saying got another chance this season.
By the way, LIU is at 99 points right now with under 30 seconds to go, so let's quickly take you there.
That's two rebounds.
All right, shot clock turned off. LIU doesn't have to take a shot. Probably shouldn't take a shot here. Do they go for the century mark? Shooting 53% on the night. By the way, Humphrey made another basket, so she's a perfect 9 for 9, 27 points on the night. A perfect night for Humphrey, perfect night for the Sharks. It looks like they're going to settle for 99 points and a 22-point win. And then there was one, through all the craziness, one final game, 3.1 seconds to go, Wagner at the free throw line.
Who had a baby mid-season, our director of basketball operations, Jen Wendler, the trainer, Sabi.
First free throw by Doi, good. Second free throw short, rebounded by Lemoyne. And for the third straight season, the Lemoyne Dolphins are headed to the semifinal round of the NEC tournament. So the semifinals are set as Lemoyne wins it on the road. Our lone road team to win tonight, a 5-4 upset, 54-47. Eli Clark, the leading scorer, 15 points, 10 points for Wongolo, 10 rebounds as well, a double-double. They did it with that much production from Baragas. Baragas has struggled against Wagner. It hasn't been a good matchup for her. On the other side, Wagner, led by Fernandez, 13 points. Doi with 10.7 rebounds. But our semifinals are now set. Lemoyne, Nick DePillo, the FDU alum, will go back to LIU. The Jersey guy coming home. He got kicked out. He didn't make it to the end of the game the last time they played. He got ejected at the end of the third quarter. He'll be going back to FDU to play the Knights in the semifinal round coming up on Thursday, and our other semifinal will be LIU and Mercyhurst in Erie, Pennsylvania. All of our games are complete. We will take a quick timeout, come back, and wrap up the evening and get you set for semifinal Thursday. Keep it right here. You've been watching the NEC Full Court Press for the 2026 NEC Women's Basketball Quarterfinals. All right, we're back. We go full screen here as all four of our quarterfinals have been completed here tonight. What a night it's been. Glad you could be along with us, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or on X. All four quarterfinals, whip around coverage, and now our semifinals are set. So quick recap. We started the night, our game that tipped off at 6 p.m. Mercyhurst getting their first ever tournament win against Stonehill, 70-64. Jenna Van Schaik, the star in that game with 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Sophia Wilson, a big game as well in her NEC tournament debut as the Rookie of the Year with 19 points, hit some big threes, 3 threes in that game. And speaking about star freshmen, how about Ella Pelletier playing the 3, the 4, getting in the low post, getting a bunch of rebounds, 6 rebounds, and a new career high 27 points. But it was not enough. Stonehill, the 7 seed, gets knocked out. Mercyhurst advances to the Final Four of the NEC. Then we saw the number 1 seed, FDU Knights, flex their muscles with an 81-56 win over the St. Francis Red Flash. Ava Renninger, again, didn't quite put up some big numbers during the regular season in conference play. She showed up, the general here come playoff time. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. McDonald had 2 more threes, 15 points for her as FDU held St. Francis to 56 points and 40% from the field, which was actually their best offensive numbers in the 3 games that they played this year against the Knights. St. Francis was 0 for 7 from behind the arc, while FDU made 9 threes. So FDU, they win their 20th game in a row, and they go to the semifinals for a 7th straight season. And they will play host to the Lemoyne Dolphins, as we just showed moments ago, our final game of the night. Lemoyne, our lone road team to win tonight, pulling off the 5-4 upset in Staten Island as they beat Wagner for the second time in 3 meetings this year. Lemoyne now, again, with that big run, here's won 7 out of their last 9 games, and they have won at least one tournament game each of their 3 years in the NEC tournament. They advance. They trailed most of the first half, but they came out of the locker room, got a big run, did it without big contributions from Baragas, who only had 2 points, was 0 for 5 from the field. It was really the Clark sisters, 15 points for Eli, 9 points for Caden, and then Wangalo, 8 points, 10 rebounds to help lead Lemoyne to the winning victory, to the winning score on the road. And then our final game, it was LIU pouring in points right from the opening jump. 32 points in the first quarter, 32 in the second quarter, 20 in the third quarter. Our top star of the night had to be Hannah Humphrey. She was perfect, flat out. 27 points, a career high, 9 for 9 from the field, 6 for 6 from behind the arc. Perfect night. And then she was one of 3 Sharks with over 20 points scoring. Kiki gains a new career high, 23 points with 10 rebounds, a double-double. Torre, 26 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. The player of the year with a player of the year-like performance here to start her postseason journey as LIU knocks off Chicago State 99-77. So, our semifinals are set. Both of them will be running simultaneously. Unfortunately, there will be no whip-around coverage back and forth. You'll have to handle the remote yourself. Both games will be on ESPN+. You can check them out. First, it'll be FDU taking on Lemoyne. 3rd meeting of the season. Obviously, FDU with the perfect season has beat Lemoyne in both of the prior meetings. We kind of joked there at the end of our coverage that Coach DePillo hopes he sticks around to see the end of this playoff game, unlike the last time he was at the Pagoda Savings Bank Center. FDU, with their dominant defense, shut down Baragas, really limited the perimeter shooting, the 3-point shooting of Lemoyne, and forced turnovers. We talked about Lemoyne's turnover issue. FDU could force turnovers just as well, maybe better than Wagner can. So that's going to be something to watch. And Lemoyne, can they keep up with the 3-point shooting if FDU gets off on a hot streak? What do you do? Okay, we'll control Renninger, but then Gerke, and then McDonald. And then if we go the perimeter route, then, they can get it inside. So pick your poison. FDU obviously going to be the favorite for that one as the Knights look to get back to the championship game for a 2nd straight year and defend their throne. Lemoyne looking to get to the championship game for the 2nd time in 3 years. Again, got to throw this out there. Last time FDU lost a game to any conference opponent, regular season or postseason, was against Lemoyne. So we'll see. Anything can happen in the NEC tournament. And then the other semifinal is going to be out in Erie, Pennsylvania. It'll be the Mercyhurst Lakers taking on the LIU Sharks. Mercyhurst won the game in Brooklyn just about 2 weeks ago. That was the game that for LIU, they lost their 2nd leading scorer in Janessa Williams. So, and they lost a close game there. So we'll see whether or not Williams will be available. If LIU saved any of their points for that game against the Lakers. They did split their 2 meetings. LIU won the first meeting only by about 5 points the first time they met in Erie, Pennsylvania, and then Mercyhurst won the rematch. They won at Wagner and they won at LIU the same weekend. And again, that kind of sprung Mercyhurst to get that number 2 seed over LIU, which ended up being huge now because now LIU has to travel to Mercyhurst for that semifinal. One more thing to keep in mind, Lemoyne and Mercyhurst are both not eligible for the NCAA tournament. So if Lemoyne and Mercyhurst both get to the final, then that means we'd have to create an alternate game with FDU and LIU and figure that all out. But still possible. If one of those two teams advances, then the other game would be for your automatic qualifier. If FDU and LIU advance to the final, then the championship game would be for the automatic bid. So there's still 3 possibilities of ways to decide the automatic bid. It could be the final, 4. The final, one of the semifinals, the other semifinals, or it could be decided in a separate game altogether. So we're down to the Final Four. Things certainly getting interesting here on the road to the 2026 NEC Women's Basketball Championship. So that'll just about do it for our coverage here tonight. We thank you for going back and forth with us all evening long. Remember, Thursday night, 7 p.m., both semifinals will be available on ESPN+, and then the championship game on Sunday, the 15th, high noon start on ESPNU. We will be live on NEC Front Row an hour beforehand at 11 a.m. Eastern for our pregame coverage. We will have a radio broadcast of the game, and then we will be live for all the post-game interviews right there at the championship game, wherever it may be, for NEC Front Row Live. We hope you will join us. So again, thank you for participating in our whip around coverage. Thank you for joining us on the road to the 2026 NEC Women's Basketball Championship. I'm Craig D'Amico. Good night from the home office.